in the building. We in the building.
Salute.
Building. So, a lot of things to discuss. A lot of interesting things to discuss. We got this situation where Errol Spence and his career is essentially put on hold, right, and pushed back, and there's no explanation for it at all. There's no rhyme or reason outside of there just being simply no order with this situation with Amazon and the PBC. That's the only thing I can think of, Clay. I can't think of anything else. There's no reason why Errol Spence shouldn't be out the ring for 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the few things, right? I'm sure. Listen, you're gonna have to pick your poison because this fight, this return of Errol Spence has been well anticipated, and it was a narrative being pushed out there that it was Errol, right? That Errol was maybe nervous of coming back, or wasn't ready to come back, and was healing from surgeries, or so many different things, partying, on a vacation, taking time to clear his mind out. Maybe it's a Derrick James situation. But at some point, the conversation has to come full circle. And what does it help Errol Spence to hold out this long? Why would he hold out this long? The longer he stays out the ring, the colder he gets. I mean, where's the motivation going to be for Errol Spence to come back? And it's got to be in the fight, making sense monetarily, like, you know what I'm saying? Like money-wise. Mm-hmm. And that comes back to the PBC, that comes back to the Amazon deal, and how that whole entire deal is structured and how that benefits him, because we see that the deal had to benefit Tank in a certain way, that they had to specifically do something specific for him as a face of boxing to make sure that he got what he needed to get in order to be comfortable enough to be like, all right, start scheduling these fights for me. The same thing with Canelo Alvarez, obviously, who is the face of boxing. What's Errol Spence waiting on in order for him to be comfortable enough to allow the PBC to make an announcement, to announce a date for him? It just keeps getting pushed out, and went from October. It was supposed to be this month. He was supposed to be returning, to January. And now, rumors that it might be pushed out to March. Yeah, it does. You wouldn't be crazy at all to question what is it that's going on right now with that structure of that deal.
Yeah, it just don't make sense to me. And he don't have time. Time is not on his side. He's going to be 35 years of age by the time he steps in the ring. Is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Right. Like, the last time we saw him fight he was 33. Next time we see him, he's going to be 35.
Yeah. And
he's making it abundantly clear he wants to fight. It's not like he's questioning if he can continue, if he wants to box anymore. That's not the case. Like, he wants to fight. And why is he sitting on the shelf? Granted, we know he is Mr. I don't do tune-ups. We know this already, right? But you can't tell me that Errol, and salute to Luther Boyd in the super chat. Then we're gonna do our roll call. Salute to Luther Boyd. He said, bro, Bud took a lot out of him, Blue. Well, but this don't have nothing to do with Bud, and it has nothing to do with that fight, unless they simply don't believe in him anymore.
I mean, from what, shout out to Luther Boyd. So are you basically saying Errol is the one hesitating? He's the one pushing these fights out? I mean, that's one way to look at it, right? That's one way to look at it, is to put it all on Errol's shoulders, to say that if it was up to Errol, or if it was up to the PBC, Errol would have been fighting, and that the reason these fights aren't happening right now is because Errol is pushing. He's kicking the can down the road, right? He's kicking the can down the road. But why? Why is he kicking the can down the road? Gervonta Tank Davis kicked the can down the road at the beginning of this year, which is why Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora end up headlining the first PBC Amazon event. He did kick the can down the road. But why did he kick the can down the road? Well, we come to find out that a $200 to $240 million deal with Amazon Prime, you know what I'm saying? With Amazon Prime and the PBC, he was waiting on something, right? He didn't say that's what he was waiting on, but how convenient that now all of a sudden that deal came out. Canelo Alvarez at the same time was very hesitant. You guys remember when the rumor was going around that Canelo wanted his money in escrow. He wanted his money there. And because they weren't able to put that money there for him, because Al or the PBC, whoever's running the PBC, wasn't able to put that money there, that Canelo was looking elsewhere. Then all of a sudden, they were able to get the money together, and Canelo came back to reality. Fought Jaime Munguia. We know how that went, right? So what is holding Errol Spence up, guys? Is Errol Spence just playing with our emotions? Does he just not want to fight, and he's saying he wants to fight, and he's just playing with our emotions? Or is there some legitimate reason as to what's holding Errol Spence up from saying, yes, let's go ahead and get it done? Because no matter what we want to believe, fighting is important, but they're prize fighters first, and he's not finna fight for free. And I'm sure whatever he's asking for is going to be close to what he got paid for against Terrence Crawford. Maybe a little less, but somewhere in that range. He's not going back down to $2 million guaranteed and some crazy back end that they're promising is going to happen.
And before we get to that, because and let me hold that thought right there. I want to put a bookmarker right there, because I got something I want to say about that. Because will he be the same? And here's the problem, Clay. We ain't even going to know, because he'll be out the ring for 2 years. So we're going to correlate it, Clay. If he has a bad performance, we're going to be like, well, he wasn't the same guy. Well, Terrence Crawford took a lot out of him. Well, meanwhile, it could be the layoff. It could be inactivity. It could be ring rust. But because he goes into such high-profile fights and he don't take tune-up fights, we can't see him actually and understand if he's gotten sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like Jamal Charlo, we was able to see him still be sharp, Clay, because he, no disrespect to Jose Benavidez Jr., but he's a high-profile tune-up fight.
Right.
So we was able to see him still be sharp. He didn't get in there with. Jamal Charlo was smart. He said, "I'm not getting in with Canelo. I'm not ready." He took the fight with Jose Benavidez Jr.
Right.
And he was sharp in that fight. 2-year layoff, similar. Right?
That jab never left. Still the best jab at 160, in my opinion. The best jab.
Man, he got top 5 best jabs in boxing.
Yeah, period.
Period, yeah. But he didn't take punishment. He didn't suffer that car accident. He didn't take a loss. But he's dealing with mental issues, clearly mental health issues, family issues, so on and so forth. Right? But he looks sharp. So we're not going to be able to gauge what Errol Spence looks like. It's the unknown, right? We'll never know because it's so much time off. And you can't tell me. And here's the thing about it, Clay, is because we understand that as fans, whether you expected him to lose like that to Terrence Crawford or not, whether you were shocked by it or not, the whole boxing world is intrigued to see him come back, Clay.
100%.
And we
including us, right? We're like, everybody wants to see Errol back.
Even if we just intrigued to see if he can bounce back, if he gonna look the same. Was it just Terrence Crawford? The intrigue is there. Which means, to me, the money would be there. Or is it just simply not there? But let's get this roll call. Des Deuce in the building. Big Tim 45, he in the building. Eastside Easy in the building. The Sports Guy in the building. Stephen L. Lamack, he's in the building. Craig Pruitt in the building. Hendo, the Fearless One, he in the building. Ty in the Sky, the Beautiful Queen, she's in the building. Luther Boyd, he in the building. Smooth Stepper in the building. Louis Bay in the building. Just Being E is in the building. 5Y is in the building. 5Y said, I want to join you guys. Who's that? Marcus Johnson in the building. Anthony Jackson in the building. Sonny Augustine in the building. K. Ross in the building. A. Kane, my brother, in the building. Paul Pizzazz in the building. The beautiful Queen Maya Egypt, she's in the building. Bean is in the building. 5Y says send the link. Do you know who that is? JJ Short Deuce in the building.
Not at all. Who's 5Y?
128. Fabian Terry. The Food. TSM 7. Creighton Brooks, Kawhi Elliott, Ratchet since 9-1, Oddest Sports Guy, J Pitty City, RC, who else? Champ Jones, Corey Davis, Leva 926, Visionary, Flubber Lane, Cross Life, Frederick Branch, Yoni Craft TV, Dogfight, Thomas Johnson, Corey Davis, C Money Best Style is Brooklyn in the house without a doubt. Little
Let's
Rock,
get it.
NHD Productions, Cardinal Samuels, Tavon Young, Al Williams, Monjay Johnson, Big Block, Craig Reed, Michael Wilson, Tom Rice, Motown 909, Isaiah GQ, Uncle Bone, K Moolah, Jafari Caesar. Number 3, ultimately, we got my brother, my co-host, Clay Moraine. He's in the building. Hit the horn for him, Clay. Luther Boyd in the super chat dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. I really hope Errol bounce back. I'm Team Bud, but Errol's such a great fighter. Bud just different. I really believe he can move up and beat Canelo. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Terrence Crawford could beat Canelo as well. But the thing is, why is, and that's what I'm saying, right, Luther Boyd? We can't even gauge if it was just Terrence Crawford was just different. Selected Styles, Jared McKenzie, what's up? Crawler Loke, Jamaica, what's up? Thomas Johnson, Hector Solis, Robert Lee, what's up, family? We can't even gauge it because it's out of sight. The fight is so old now. Jonathan 97, what's up? The fight is so old now that we can't even gauge it.
Yeah, no fighter, in my opinion, is going to choose to sit out for this amount of time. There has to be some extenuating circumstances that's affecting this. It's not. There's only so far we can go with continually putting it on Errol, continue putting it on these fighters that we see don't fight for a long time, right? The conversation has to go deeper than that, because it's just easy to sit here and point at Errol and say, oh, he's hurt, PTSD, him and Derek ain't working together. Why is he allowing information to even go out saying that him and Fundora are squared away on a deal? When you look at it, it just looks like the fighters are all in. It looks like Fundora's all in. It looks like Errol Spence is all in. These guys are comfortable. They're ready to make a return. They're waiting for a word. They're waiting for something to be confirmed for them, right? They're waiting for that word, like, we're good to go. Let's go ahead with the fight. And they're not getting it. And just not to segue at all, to stay right on topic, but just to also bring up Steven Espinosa's interview a few days ago, just speaking on the relationship between Amazon and PBC and how he's feeling comfortable and he's feeling more and more confident as these events go by that Amazon is becoming more comfortable with televising boxing. I thought that was a weird statement to make, because what do you mean you're getting comfortable with televising boxing? You're in a deal with the PBC. You have a boxing deal. What else are you providing for the PBC except for a platform to televise boxing? So if Amazon is hesitating and waiting on something, they're not comfortable yet as they need to be in order to facilitate all these fights. What are they waiting on? And once again, bringing it back full circle, how is this deal structured between the PBC and Amazon as far as what deems a good card to drop, what deems as, yes, let's go ahead and move forward with this card? Because these guys are behind the 8 ball right now. At this point, fighters are not active. The only guys who are active are the faces of boxing, Canelo Alvarez and Tank Davis. And you can put David Benavidez in there as well, who David Benavidez himself, which Blue, I'm sure, is going to start to speak about these fighters activating their own team to move out and put together fights for themselves. As Jamal Charlo said, listen, man, we got to make our own fights now. Al Haney's not feeling well. So you see these fighters who are moving out of their comfort zone and doing the promoter's job a little bit and reaching out to coordinate fights. But outside of that, what's really happening in the boxing space as far as PBC is concerned and Amazon?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right, Clay? It's like, I wonder, and let me ask you this question, Clay.
Mm-hmm.
another thing people don't pay attention to. Remember, Errol pushed back, right? He pushed back. Do you think he's
Sure
being
did.
punished, Clay, for pushing back and then losing that fight to Terrence Crawford? H-Dub, what's up, family? Do you see a scenario in which he's being punished for pushing back and forcing that fight with Terrence Crawford against their will?
I don't think I'm not too sure if I'm ready to say that he's being punished for pushing back, but I am going to say that Errol is, no matter how Errol looked that night against Terrence Crawford, Errol is a selling fighter, right? A lot of people before Tank Davis, it was Errol, right? Errol was the face for the PBC. He was the biggest fighter there. He was packing out Cowboy Stadium. He gets a lot of love from Texas. Texas has a huge boxing fan base, and they all support Errol Spence. He is who he is. And if there's a new deal, in my opinion, if there's a new deal going on between Amazon and the PBC, then somewhere in that deal, you would think that Errol Spence would be expecting something ironed out for him in that deal. The same way something was ironed out for Canelo Alvarez and he was squared away, and something was ironed out for Tank Davis and he clearly was squared away. I don't think it's far-fetched at all that Errol Spence would be looking to have something squared away for him as well as far as future fights are concerned. He still believes in his value and his market value as a fighter. And why would he just fold and take anything, right? Could you see Errol Spence coming back with okay, we're going to give you a $2 million guarantee and then you're going to get yours on the back end? Nah, bro, not while Tank is walking in the ring with $30 million, with $30 million or 20-something $million guarantees, and Canelo Alvarez is walking in the ring with a $32 million guarantee. Why would Errol Spence ever concede to some $2.5 million, $3 million guarantee with promises of making money on the back end of pay-per-view sales? And I think that's more so lining up with what we're seeing happening with Errol Spence. Is I think he may be waiting for that email. He's waiting for that confirmation. And I mean, he's been absent from social media. He's been absent from doing interviews. He's not communicating with the space. He doesn't seem to be willing to do anything until something happens. He's waiting on something to happen. And until that happens, Errol is in a freeze. The most he'll give you is he's willing to fight Fundora. We're hearing through third parties that him and Sebastian Fundora is a confirmed fight. I don't recall hearing from Errol Spence. Do you recall hearing from Errol Spence confirming the Sebastian Fundora fight?
No, see, I didn't hear from Errol Spence, but I heard from members of his team, and one of the close members of his team had sent me a message and said the big fish is back, Blue. That's what they said. But then look where we at again.
Yeah, he is back. I mean, he's back in the gym. He's back in shape. He's back with his motivation. He's back with his willingness. The dog may be back. They're seeing great things that they want the world to see. But is he back where he's willing to sign a contract and lock in a date so that the PBC can make an official announcement as to when this fight is going to be? Because once again, what's the holdup? If all those boxes are being checked, what is the actual holdup? It doesn't benefit him. He knows that. As a fighter, he understands how important activity is. He's not crazy. He's been in the boxing game way too long to be sitting there thinking that he could sit in his living room, play NCAA football for 2 years and come back and be at the top level in his game, be the best version of himself and go in there and fight a towering inferno, right? I don't see it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Clay. Corey, salute to H-Dub. He said, right, but we know Amazon is going to drop the ball, the boxing ball. Corey Davis said Crawford had one of the weakest belts in the WBO, and he's laughing.
Okay.
Corey Davis, let me ask this question. Okay. What's a strong belt? I'm just asking for the people, great brother. Corey Davis, answer this question. Hoodie Smoke, where you been at, bro? Wow, bro, I ain't seen you in a month of days. Killy Boston, what's up? Alex, what's up? David Cochrane, what's up? And one brother said Errol is a junkie. Says who? Keith Brown, what's up?
Wait,
Keith
what did he say? That don't make him a junkie? What?
Yeah, no, he said somebody said, hey, this was the question. The first comment we missed was he says Spence is playing. Somebody said Errol Spence is a junkie.
Yeah, bro, that's
why
nonsense.
And that was a response. Then people started responding about
Yeah,
outbursts, so on and so forth. I want to
it's
know.
nonsense.
I want to know from Corey Davis. He said EJ been in the gym, boy. I ain't say he wasn't. Who said he wasn't? Why? Why? What is he talking, bro? Corey Davis, bro. I'm gonna give you about. I'm gonna give you about 3 minutes to have a serious conversation. If you can't, brother, then I'm just gonna block you because you're annoying me with the silliness, brother. So I'm asking you a question. You're talking about don't make jokes when you know the WBC gets money.
What does that
What are you
mean?
talking about? The WBC gets money. They get money from the fighters, brother, just like every other sanction body. What
Every
are you
other
talking
belt,
about?
3%, bro, give or take.
Right.
What you
So what
talking
are you
about?
talking about? The WBC gets money. Gets money from who? They all get money. They get the money from the fighters. They all get the same amount of percentage, 3%.
Now we got fans of belts, bro. We have fans of fighters. We got fans of promotional companies, and now we have fans of belts. That's what's up, man. At some point, I have belief in you guys that's going to come full circle, and you're going to be a fan of boxing again. It's going to happen. I know you're going to come full circle. You checked all the boxes so far. You're a fan of Errol, you're a fan of the PBC, and now you're a fan of the WBC. I think the next one's going to be fan of boxing. I got faith. The next one's going to be a fan of boxing.
I just don't get it. Like, what are you talking about? That don't even make sense. Aisha Paul, she said green, red, burgundy, black.
There it
In
is.
that order. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
that's not the correct order anyway.
Right. So you're saying basically the WBC belt, the WBC sanctioning body is the most celebrated and considered the biggest
Yeah, it's
sanctioning body
the
or the
most
most important
prestige
sanctioning body.
belt. But look,
Yeah.
look the nonsense that they do.
Right.
So
Look at how they keep. Yeah, exactly.
and the actual order is black, green, red, and burgundy. That's the
Right.
actual order.
Because that WBA belt's actually the official, the big Gundada, the original. Right.
That's the end all be all. The WBA. It started with the WBA.
Right.
The WBC and the IBF are branch offs of the WBA.
Right.
So that doesn't even make sense. They were the WBA birthed the WBC and IBF as well as the WBO.
Right.
The WBO came about because the person that started with the WBO, the IBO, excuse me, the IBO. So the WBA is the first belt. That's the granddaddy of them all.
Claymore, why is Bud ducking? Yo, when I tell you guys that before the sun came up Sunday morning, that I knew for a fact the narrative was going to be that Bud is ducking Bakhram. When I tell you before the sun came up, I knew that. I knew that was coming. Hands down, knew that was coming. So shout out to being predictable. You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys for being predictable and some triggered Negroes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys for reinforcing the idea that the system works, that conditioning works, that you guys are predictable. We can count on you guys to do what you're supposed to do. It is what it is.
Skull Gizzy said, "This dude again. Might as well make it a podcast." I'm confused, bro. Jose Cortez, what's up? Hoodie Smoke, my brother in the building in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. Honest in the super chat. My bad, Blue. Life been lifing. See you still holding it down, Blue. How you and the family doing, King? Blessings, King. We doing great, man. How you doing, man? Yeah, life will life, bro. Life will definitely life. My eyes.
Life.
I was at the eye doctor today, and it's still bothering me. I got to go get my glasses. As a matter of fact, Kent Massey, what's up, family? Where you been at? So, I don't understand when we have these overly aggressive, giant size cheerleaders that just can't help but to get out their own way.
Yeah,
they can't get out their own way.
Hairy legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just giant size cheerleaders that don't even listen, can't comprehend, and just be just out here, just aggressive, just straight crash dummies. That's all they are, Clay.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking down on Errol Spence. We actually defending Errol Spence. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we're trying to see Errol fight, and we're wondering why can't we? I mean, do you have an answer for that? While you guys are sitting there painting the narrative that we're hating, why don't you be like, yo, Spence is gonna fight on, you know what I mean, January 25th, bro. You guys just, you know, put us on. Instead of just allowing this to just continue to be the way it is, and every time we inquire into it, and we're trying to really bring it to you guys and have a real conversation about something serious, you guys are playing games.
I'll be right back. Let me get my glasses.
No doubt. But yeah, you know, you guys don't have to don't got to push the narrative like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? We're just asking a serious question at this point. I mean, there's a lot of
before I go, right, Clay? Salute to 8K crowd of my brother. But look at this comment right here, Clay. Look at this one right here. Look at that.
Thomas, what? Thomas, come on, Thomas. What does Bud have to do with the fight? And what do you mean, Bud? What does this have to do with Errol Spence fighting? If Bud were to continue to fight the best, does this help move the needle on the Errol Spence conversation as far as when we want to see him fight? What's going on? You guys, the way you guys answer and put some of these things in the chat, it seems like it's like pre-written. Like no matter what was said, you were going to say that. You've been waiting the whole time just to say that. Be honest with yourself. What in the world does what you just said here have to do with the conversation? Just honestly, I'm not throwing shots at you. I don't want to make it. I just want to know, you guys want Spence to do all the hard work. He hasn't fought in about over a year and a half now, getting ready to be damn near 2 years, and not Bud. So we don't care what Bud does. And then now he should fight the best. So is that a way of moving? Are we supposed to be talking about Bud fighting right now? We're not even supposed to be talking about Errol Spence? Is that what it is? Be honest with yourself, man. We don't need to argue about that, right? That don't make no sense what you put there. Now, are you talking to somebody in the chat? Maybe that's what it is. Is somebody in the chat talking to you and you were talking to somebody in the chat and Blue just mistook it for what you were saying? Huh? That has to be what it is. That has to be what it is. It is what it is. But I don't know. You know, Blue heard, you know, through his connections about what's maybe happening as far as Errol Spence's and Sebastian Fundora's fight being pushed out 3 more months. And it's been getting pushed out. It's been getting pushed out. Right? It's been getting pushed out and it's been getting pushed out. At what point is it okay for us to have a conversation about or ask the question, what's the holdup? That's all it is. What's the holdup? What's the holdup? And are we going to continue to keep on putting it on Errol and saying that Errol is the one who doesn't want this? Errol is not putting the work in. Or is it Sebastian Fundora's fault? Is he the one pushing it out? Or is it, you know, is it Tom Brown? Who is it? Why is this fight not happening? Why are these dates being pushed out consistently like that? Why? Kenton Massey.
Yeah, that's what I don't get, man. I don't get some of these guys. Salute to Ken Massey in the super chat, dropping that dub. Uh-oh, wrong button. Wrong button, Ken. Salute to Ken Massey, dropping that dub on us in the super chat. He said, working way too much. Glad to be here, champ. Salute to you, King. Blessings to you. And so here's the thing, right, Clay? What we are asking for Errol to be active. We're not talking for his sake. He wants to be active.
But Thomas, you're what do you mean? What do you mean, Thomas? Why does Bud need to fight a healthy Spence? No weight draining. What do you mean right now? Is that what Errol is waiting on? I want what you're saying to make sense. Is that what the bigger is? Errol waiting on Bud to fight him? Is that what you're saying? Is it he doesn't want to fight Sebastian? He actually wants to fight Bud because you know he passed on a rematch clause that he activated with Bud Crawford at where the fight could have happened at 154, and they could have. What is it? What is it that's triggering you right now? I want you to get it off your spirit. You know what I mean? What's triggering you right now? Why are you uncomfortable with us questioning what's taking Errol Spence so long to return? Huh? Spence and Bud are aging, and 2 years off is not good for Spence. Respect to both champs. Okay, Thomas, I'm good with that. I'm gonna leave it be, brother. We'll move on. We'll leave it be what it is. We'll keep on moving, brother. All right, man. Appreciate you for engaging in the chat, brother. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
That's a different Thomas.
It's not the same Thomas. Oh no, you're right.
That's a different one. My brother Woke in the building. My brother Bish, B Megastar. What's up with you, Bish? Man, there you go, Thomas Johnson. It's hard.
Yeah, he's on Kitty table time. He's definitely on Kitty table time. I'm telling you, he's getting close to it, bro. It is what it is.
It's hard beating guys on snack program.
He's right there. He's right there.
It's hard beating guys on a snack program.
He needs a juicy juice pack, and he needs some fruit snacks.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and send him to the kitty table.
He might need that. He needs some fruit snacks, a juicy juice box. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he's just here to cause confusion.
Yeah, don't give him nothing hard and small that he can choke on. All soft and chewable things. You know what I mean?
Quincy Carter, what's up, family? The beautiful queen, Jay Lynn, she's in the building. He's not making no sense.
Yeah.
D-Boy Dev, what's up, family? He's just, bro, we here defending Errol Spence for being shelved and his fight being pushed back and him not being active. And this dude is talking about we want Errol Spence to do all the heavy lifting. No, we not asking for Errol Spence to do all the heavy lifting. Errol Spence is asking to do all the heavy lifting. Not so smart guy. Errol Spence is the one say he don't do tune-ups. He only do big fights. And what are you talking about? We want Errol Spence to do all the heavy lifting. Terrence Crawford is trying to do the heavy lifting himself. What are you talking about? Who are we asking Errol Spence to fight that we're not asking Terrence Crawford to fight? Or vice versa. The fact is, not so smart guy, we wanted to see Terrence Crawford in Fundora. Terrence Crawford and Tszyu. Terrence Crawford pushed for Tszyu fight.
Right.
Terrence Crawford pushed for the Fundora fight. They ducked Terrence Crawford. What are you talking about? You got to start using your brain for something other than just being silly. It works for other things. There's a lot of dimensions to your brain. Use it.
Talk to him.
I mean, we gotta start making this make sense. I was complaining and Clay was complaining. Joe Johnson, what's up, nephew? Future, what's up, family? That they're trying to cut the line and box Terrence Crawford out. Not so smart guy. So how are we asking Errol Spence to do all the heavy lifting when we wanted Terrence Crawford to make these fights? The first thing me and Clay talked about when Bakhram Murtazaliev beat Tszyu was we want to see him and Terrence Crawford and how will he do against Terrence Crawford. So 100%. What are you talking about? We saying that Canelo Alvarez needs to give Terrence Crawford the opportunity.
Straight up. In the face of all the people who are saying he's going to be knocked out and beat out his brains and everything like that. We putting Terrence in the crosshairs of danger and asking him to challenge himself and betting on him to come out victorious on the other side of that conversation. You guys ain't got a leg to stand on.
People don't pay attention, man. J Pitty City, my brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco. Wrong button again.
Boy.
He said, I have a big secret for everyone on here. Every boxer under heavyweight is weight drained. That's all facts.
That's a fact.
That's all facts, great brother. That's what I was telling the youngster yesterday. That's all facts. Jalen says, cause of delay in fight, is it because of Spence? No, that's what we're saying, right, Queen? We're saying this is not Errol Spence's fault. Right. They're shelving Errol Spence, and we're saying, I'm asking the question, is he being punished for pushing back and forcing a Crawford fight? Right. Do PBC not have the funds to pay Errol Spence? What's the holdup? What is the problem? Errol Spence clearly wants to fight. By the time Errol Spence fights, not only Errol Spence, but I told Clay this earlier when me and him talked. Think about this. Fundora is going to be out the ring for a year himself. If they push this fight back like it's being told to me to March, that means Fundora would have been out the ring for a year himself. Why? Errol
100%.
Spence out the ring for 20 months. Fundora out the ring for a year. Jamal Charlo out the ring for a year. Jamel Charlo out the ring for going on 2 years. He's only a couple of months behind Spence. He fought in September. 2 months.
100%.
So he's
bro.
fighting in January. How long is that, Clay? He fought September
You fought July.
2023.
That's like what, 18, 19, 20. Wait, hold on. July
September
to July is a
2023.
year. August, September, October, November. Where are we going to? To January? December?
Yeah, January, they said.
To January.
that's a
Boom.
year.
That's 6 months. That's 18 months. It's
Right.
a year and a half.
Well,
who you talking about right now? You talking about Errol?
No, I'm talking about Jamel.
Oh, yeah. Jamel ain't fought.
By the time Errol fight, it would be 20 months.
Right.
I'm talking about Jamel. Jamel fought in July. So he going to fight in January.
He fought this past July.
Yeah, July 2023. No, September 2023.
Those when Jamel fought Jose Benavidez.
Yeah, when he fought Canelo.
Oh, you talking about? Okay, I'm thinking about Jamal. I'm sorry.
No, Jamel.
Right.
Jamel fought Canelo September 2023. They talking about him fighting in January. So September made a year. Then you got October, November, December, January. So he been out the ring for 16 months.
Yeah.
16 months, bro.
September, yup.
Errol Spence out the ring for 20 months. Fundora out the ring for a year. Jamel out the ring for 16 months. Jamal gonna be out the ring. He fight in December, right? Well, he fought
supposedly. Right.
Bro, I don't get it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the inactivity is insane. It's diabolical. Shout out to the showbiz. You know what I'm saying?
And then here's the thing, right, Clay? Then you have Jamal Charlo like, bro, we got to take control of our own career. Jamel Charlo like, nah, I'm not fighting on this card. I'm fighting Lemos. I'm not fighting Tunas. Jamal like, I'm not fighting Thomas Lamame. Give me Demetrius Andrade. David Benavidez, I'm not fighting Jesse Hart, man. What are y'all doing? Give me David Morrell. Like, what are we doing?
100%. Yeah, Jamal fought what? November 2023. Jamal fought in November too. So November to November.
Oh, wow. He been out the ring for a year again?
A year, yeah. A year, bro.
Bro, I didn't even realize Jamal been out the ring that long.
He almost missed 2024. He almost completely missed all of 2024, bro. They just putting him in the ring in December. November will be a year he's been out the ring. He almost missed this year. If he does not fight on this December card, he's gone a full year. Not doing nothing.
So that means he fought once in almost 4 years.
Yes, that's a fact.
Nasty
the last
work.
time he fought before that was in 2021. Was in June of 2021.
It's nasty work. How do you expect this sport to stay afloat?
Yeah, man. A lot of people gambled and they threw their eggs in that basket, man. And they were like, all right, man, we're gonna wait on you guys being the PBC to get it together and get this thing structured so we can all get active. But in the midst of doing that, they've sat out. I have no doubt in my brain, Blue, that they've sat out way longer than they anticipated sitting out. They didn't expect to be sitting out this long, bro. I don't care, bro. No fighter. And that's why people like Jalil Hackett, Shakur Stevenson, Jerron Boots Ennis, all these fighters that, especially with Shakur, when they like to say, why didn't Shakur go to the PBC if he wanted to fight Tank? I don't remember the last time the PBC signed a new fighter. I don't know what's the last fighter the PBC has signed and what offers they're actually putting out there. But at the end of the day, what fighter wants to go to a promotion company that their own fighters that are already there aren't active? What am I going to expect from myself?
Thomas Johnson, go sit in the corner, bro. You just annoying me, bro. Go. Oh man,
but all the promotional companies are stalling their fighters. I don't understand.
He said that people are stealing the PBC fighters.
No. He said all promotional companies are stalling their fighters. Stalling. Did he mean stealing? Yeah, he said stalling their fighters. Don't just blame the PBC. I don't see that, bro. I don't see it. Look at Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying?
Teofimo Lopez turned down the fight.
Right.
He could have fought. He could have fought in September against Brian Norman. He turned down the fight.
Yeah. That's not the case, brother. That's not the case at all, man. They're not all stalling their fighters, bro. Nowhere near it. The PBC's had 5 events this year, I believe. Let me see. Tszyu, Fundora, Canelo Munguia, Tank, Frank, Canelo, Edgar Berlanga, and then this free card that just went down with Tszyu. That's 5 events.
Right.
That's 5 events.
Right. So make it make sense, man.
Straight up. And that last event was nasty work, bro. That last event, this Saturday with Tszyu was
the production.
That production was like, who in the hell raised you? Who told you that this was gonna be it? You know what I mean?
And then the fighters is they don't want to, but they telling you, man, we're gonna have to go against this.
Yeah, we gotta push back at it. No doubt. 6. What was that? Sex? Well, I don't know. 6F. Why would you make your name complicated like that, brother?
My great brother, Seth LM, brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. Again, Clay.
Yo, come on, Blue. Let's get it. Come on,
he said, off topic, Blue and Clay. Y'all buying the new Undisputed bot? Man, I bought it for my son and it's trash.
Yeah, I got it. It's not trash, but it is. I got to learn it. I got to learn it. I ain't going to lie.
It's trash to me, bro. I can't even do it, bro.
I think once you learn it, once you get it, like it looks like the kind of game that once you, I'm not good at it at all. So, you know what I mean? To be like right now, I'm not good at it at all. So I can't say that it's good because I'm having a hard time, but it looks good. It looks good. I was playing a little bit earlier today, trying to get it together.
It's trash. It's
trash.
Man, Clay, I can't do it. At least for me, man. Band up. What up, nephew? Pugilis Shizdin, what's up? Mr. Big Play Bray, what's up? I can't do it. It's trash, man. Man, you learn, once you learn that all you gotta do is throw body punches and that's it. So everybody just
drain their energy, right?
Bro, you can't block the body. Man, it's just trash. B Paulie,
I'm having a hard time blocking the body straight up. That's a fact.
You can't. It's impossible. My 9-year-old daughter beat me and my son.
Because she just committed to the body.
She just picked up on you could just keep going to the body and just so she learned that those buttons and just she getting us up out of here. I'm like, bro, I had Sugar Ray Robinson. She get me up out of here. I'm like, man, come on, man. This ain't right. Work right relationship. What's up, family? Back in balance. What's up, family? Blaze, what's up, family? Nah, that game's trash. My daughter was putting the beast. My son was tight. I wasn't tight because you already know he's young. So, you know what I'm saying? She don't play video games. So her jumping on there and putting the beats on us is nasty work. She don't even touch the controller. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So she got on there and just absolutely put the beats on us. I'm like, bro, I had Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah, I did Terrence Crawford versus Sugar Ray, and I was Terrence Crawford. And man, it's difficult to say the least. But I see possibilities, man. I just need to figure it out, man. I've only played the game twice since I've had it. I don't got time for video games like a lot of other people. You know what I mean? Since the game I've had it since pretty much it came out, and I've only played twice. So
I just simply can't do it. Can't do it.
And when I played it, I think it was like 20 minutes the first time, and then like maybe 30, 40 minutes a little earlier today. Like I ain't got time.
The thing is, right, Clay? I started off with just like, just my daughter, just having fun. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I really got to play against her? Is nasty work.
Yeah.
I really gotta play with her? I really gotta do this? Oh, that's nasty work, bro.
L1 and R2 is how you block the body. So is it two separate blocks? Is it a high block? Is it like L1 and R2 is how you like you hold them at the same time?
I don't know, bro.
L1 and R2. Okay, so it would be R1 and L2. I don't understand. That's kind of weird, but I'll figure it out.
The game is just nasty work to me. Black Cam TV, what's up, family? Yeah, knuckle up. What's up? I just can't do it. So anyway, yeah, man. So we just want to see the best fighting the best. I'm interested to see Errol Spence bounce back. I'm interested to see how Errol Spence look in the ring. I just want to see Errol Spence boxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have not seen Errol Spence box. I don't care about the loss to Terrence Crawford. That's been there, done it. It's over. Let's see.
Way over.
I want to see Errol Spence now moving forward. I don't want to. I'm already done with the Terrence Crawford saga, unless Errol picks up belts, so on and so forth. But I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's move forward. I just want to see him back in the ring, resuming his career as a fan of his. 100%. That's it. That's all. All of the layoffs and all that extra nonsense, and he ain't got it. I don't care. I want to see him. Show me. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Cameron Fields, peace and bless the beautiful queen. She's in the building. You see what I'm saying, Clay? I don't care about none of that. I could care less. Don't tell me. I know this. He been out. Lawrence Brazier, what's good? Jonathan Wilson, what's good? He said you ain't a fan of his, boo. You want to bet? I invested more money in Errol Spence than you ever have. Not so smart guy. You ain't a fan. You ain't a fan of boxing. You a cheerleader. We ain't the same. So, but yeah, Clay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see Errol Spence back in the ring, competing. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, man. I think it's been pushed out enough, man. And I mean, once again, maybe it is going down in January. And you would expect if the fight is happening in January that they'd make some sort of announcement soon, relatively soon, inside the next two to 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Make an announcement, because January is right around the corner. November is right around the corner. November, December, January. You know what I'm saying? So if they're going to make an announcement and they want this to make the money, especially if it's going to be a pay-per-view, they need to put a good rollout behind this. You know, Tank complained about his rollout against Frank Martin. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all remember, but the Grand Rivals, when he didn't show up and he tweeted out there like, yo, the promotion for this event's been trash. He's like, now watch, I don't show up. You know what I'm saying? For the Grand Rivals. So they need to jump. It just seems like the energy that Premier Boxing is giving consistently it's not done until it's done. You know what I'm saying? It just, you always feel like something is left undone. Something is not quite there yet, no matter what the fight is. You know what I'm saying? Canelo was a pretty decent rollout. It made sense. I think the Tank Frank was a weird, slow rollout. It happened, but it didn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't there the way I think it should be there. And then, you know, obviously, I think the Tszyu and the Bakhram fight didn't get no promotion at all. At all. I didn't see not one commercial, not one. That fight got no promotion at all. So if they're going to push this, and Errol's is supposed to be getting money off the back end of a pay-per-view, of pay-per-view sales and things of that nature, they need to make this announcement soon. And I don't care, bro. I'm right now where I'm at with it is something on the PBC side of the conversation is not being addressed. It's in the dark. Something on the PBC side of the conversation is why this fight is getting pushed out. That's how it looks to me. Now, look, they were talking about making this fight happen in January, but we're hearing that David Morrell and David Benavidez is supposed to be at the end of January. I think like January 25th or something like that is a date they were aiming for. So I don't think maybe that pushed it out. Did the fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell push out the Errol Spence fight to March? Is that what happened? They had to make a choice and they chose to push it. I don't know.
None of it makes sense. Jonathan Wilson. Here's what I'm gonna do for you, Jonathan Wilson. Because I'm a real man. So here we're gonna do, Jonathan Wilson. I'm gonna send you the link personally, Jonathan Wilson. There you go. Now you click the link. Don't worry about what the moderators is doing. You click the link. The link is right there for you. This link is only for Jonathan Wilson, who's concerned with now the moderators are gonna block me. Ain't nobody blocking you. Now click the link, turn your camera on, and come speak your piece like a man. Come stand on your square. Don't talk behind the camera. Don't talk behind the keyboard. Click the link, turn your camera on, and come say what you had to say. And we're going to wait for you. But go ahead, Clay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's what I also thought about that as far as the David Benavidez and David Morrell fight getting pushed, getting his own card and getting pushed into January. Did that get in the way? I mean, that's kind of realistic. It could be possible that happened, but I don't know if they needed to push it out 3 months, but it is what it is. especially that I'm hearing rumors that they may be potentially making it free. Is that correct?
Right. But this is the thing, right, Clay? Is that Errol Spence and Fundora should take precedence, seeing as though they was up first, they was on deck first. The David Morrell, David Benavidez fight is Johnny come lately. Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora was on deck already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They on deck. And they was actually supposed to fight in October. Then it was November. Then it's December. Now March is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
It's ridiculous.
It's 100%. It's 100% makes sense.
Right.
I'm trying to
Johnson
really like.
I don't want to turn my camera on. Then get out of here. Kick rocks. Sean Johnson said, "This dude a clown. Just be quiet." L Harper Reptile, what's up, family? Yeah, they always do all that nonsense, do all that talking behind the keyboard. Easy to talk about it. Happy Valley Farm, what's up? It's easy to talk behind the keyboard. Now click the link, come on here and speak your piece like a man and turn your camera on. I'm assuming you're a man. That's an assumption. But
you ever had a female come up here and get at you? Yeah, well, you ever that female hit the link and try to get at you?
Nah.
It hasn't happened yet, right?
Nah. Black, you quit ubiquity. What's up? Hover 575. What's up? Yeah, this is what they do. They'll do a bunch of talking, disrupting the chat. They do a bunch of fabricating. Oh, the moderator's gonna block me. Blues moderators block me. They do that as a defense mechanism. No, ain't nobody block you. You ain't blocked. You ain't time out. Click the link and speak your piece. If you ain't got the what's the cojones to do it, Light Eyes, what's up, family? Then beat it.
He said, "What if I look stupid on the camera?"
Yeah, don't worry about it, brother. You out of here.
You good, money. You good.
You out of here.
L Harper Reptile says he had seen something might be going on again with Errol Spence. He needs more time. See, that's the narrative they're pushing out there. And I'm starting to feel like Errol at some point is going to get uncomfortable with the narrative, being that he's not ready. He's got something going on. This fight is getting pushed out because he's got that narrative is going to get old, man. Yeah, they're going to push it off on Errol and make it look like Errol is the one, and what very well could be. B. McGee, what's up? Because Errol was out, it was Yellow Beezy's birthday. So he was out on the town. You know what I'm saying? He was out on the night. Obviously for everything he's been through, when you see him out on the town on the night, it's concerning. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, and we're in the know, right? We don't know what's next with your trainer. You know what I'm saying? Are you training? Are you in the gym? What's going on? You know what I mean? There's not a lot of know of what's going on, but we know. Is it because his history? His history of drinking and partying with Yellow Beezy? That's what it is, right? Facts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's normal. You know what I'm saying? That's normal. That's a normal concern. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're gonna be like, yo, hold on, man. You know what I mean? If I see somebody that I know been through, some things, and then now, you know what I'm saying, they recovered and now they out on the town and you understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, bro, you good? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see you out on the town, bro. I want to see you in the gym. I want B. McGee, what's up? I'm not interested in seeing you out on the town. None of that. You know what I mean? And that's typical. And then especially Lawrence Brazier, what's up? Sean Johnson, what's up, family? Yeah, Sean Johnson. He playing silly, man. Nasha Haya Napash, salute. Great Gambino, what's up? Did they post him looking out of it or driving? No, he wasn't. They didn't post that. But he was partying. Yost Tony, what's up? He was partying, Jalen, but he didn't look like he was under the influence or anything, in my opinion. Rude exposure, what's good? But the fact that he's out and he's supposed to have a fight coming up,
and we know the history of what happened with the car accident and so on and so forth, and him even admitting he didn't live a fighter's lifestyle. So anytime we see him out and about like that, it's going to be alarming. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be alarming. If we saw him, if we didn't have that, when you see Errol on the beach, nobody cares. When you see him with the wife and kids, nobody cares. But as soon as you see him at a club or anything, it's alarming. It's natural reaction, though. You know what I'm saying?
But Blue, with a lot of these fighters, Blue, the activity also saves them from their own vices. The activity is what they need. You know what I mean? When you don't see, a lot of people feel like when they saw Jamal against Jose Benavidez Jr., that they felt like, oh man, he needs to stay in the ring. Like he looked good in that fight. Like it just looked like he was back for a half a minute. Even in the press conference, in the post press conference, in the build up press conference to the fight, he seemed to have purpose. You know what I mean? As a fighter who's committed their lives to boxing at such young ages, some of them as young as like 7, 9 years old, whatever the age is that they started boxing, they commit their whole entire life to this. They miss out on childhoods. They miss out on education. They miss out on a whole lot of things, family time. And, you put them down and you say, listen, you're not going to fight for another 2 years or a year and a half or whatever have you. And they start to get to their thoughts, and their thoughts get to getting the best of them, right? You leave them to their vices, and then before you know it, they're catching DUIs out there. They're getting into domestic disputes with their life partners. They're, in the club or whatever have you. They're not busy. Boxing is all they know. So the activity also goes into that conversation as well. The lack of activity kind of turning them into like pariahs in society, if that makes any sense.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Jamal Charlo just seemed to have a return when he came back against Jose Benavidez. It just looked like he was back, and I was excited to see what his next step was going to be. People were even thinking that he was going to fight Canelo next after that fight. So, activities is vital for these fighters, and the PBC doesn't seem like they're making that a priority right now. It doesn't seem like the activity for the fighters who they have on their roster is the biggest priority they have right now.
Mm-hmm. Salute to my brother, one of the last historians of this sport of boxing in the building. My brother, Stormy B-Man, is in the building. He says seeing him in the ring will be alarming. Yeah, you don't want to see him. Jerry B, what's up? The queen, Karma Serene, the beautiful queen, she's in the building.
Salute,
she said,
Karma.
at this point, we just have to let him be who he is. Yeah, and that's the thing, but you know what it is, queen? As fans, that ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Freedom March, what's good? B times Deuce, what's good? Mac Majestic, what's good? That's not going to happen because like anybody in any other sport in any other walk of life, just like if it was in a personal relationship, you would have concerns. You know what I'm saying? If you had a family member or anybody that, had any kind of, abuse or with substance abuse or anything of that nature, and you see them out and partying, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, bro, you drinking? Or you know what I'm saying? I actually got a cousin. Don't know if he'd mind me saying this, but my little cousin, I love him dearly. He suffered some unfortunate tragedy in his life. He lost his wife. Tragically, she just passed out and never woke up. Yeah, wow. They was talking, they was cooking, and she went. I think she had like an aneurysm or something. You know what I mean? And it's just the three of them. His son. You know what I mean? This is in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? The three of them was there, and ever since then he had been, turning up the bottle. You know what I mean? Heavy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Had to lost his spot. Had to move back in with his mom's, with his son. You know what I mean? Just out of it. Now, today's time, he woke up, you know what I'm saying, out of that slump, and he clean, drink water, you know what I mean? He don't dibble, dabble, he don't do none of that. But we went to my brother's birthday party because we know his history. You know what I'm saying? We know his history. And we went to my brother's birthday party, which was at a club, you know what I mean? Everybody don't deal with them problems. I don't deal with them problems. So I'm used to him living normal, you know what I'm saying? So 100%. He like, what's in the cup? And I'm like, yo, this is the Hen Doggy Dog. You know what I'm saying? No, it was actually the Club Shay Shay.
How was that? That porterhouse, that Portier, whatever.
Portier, yeah. So I was like, yo, this it's just natural reaction. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this the new Shannon Sharp Portier. You know what I'm saying? Boom, I got because we was in the club.
You about to send them on a binge.
Yeah, I got the bottle outside. You want to get a swig?
Mm-hmm.
That's my natural reaction.
Right.
And he like, nah, cousin. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, I forgot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That quick. But then for the rest of the night, my natural reaction kept being, you good? You good? You know what I'm saying? I was overdoing it, obviously. Yo, you good?
Right.
You good? Cause he was like, I'm gonna smell it. It smell good. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it start, man.
That's how it start. And then from the rest of the, you know what I mean? I was like, you good? You good? You know, so it's just a natural reaction. Cerebral One, brother in the super chat. He said Errol might come back looking like Danny Garcia.
Nah, he ain't going out like that. He gonna push it.
That's not the makeup of who he is. See, Errol Spence, Tez, what's good? Errol Spence is a different breed, bro. Errol Spence, Eric, salute, appreciate you. Errol Spence is a different breed. He a different breed. You know what I'm saying? He just is. You know what I mean? And his style and Danny Garcia's style always been in question. You know what I'm saying? Because of how he fights. You know what I mean? It's different. And salute to my brother Spence, New York City, in the building, in the super chat. That's Errol Spence family right there. Good to meet him. They got fighting family, man. Salute to Spence, New York City, man.
No doubt. Salute to Spence, but
he said, nah, EJ good, Blue. That's what me and Clay has been saying.
That's what exactly.
Go ahead, Clay.
Nah, you about to hit it right on the nail, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. If EJ's not who I believe needs to get questioned right now, as far as why this fight ain't dropped yet. What's the holdup on this fight happening? What is it? You know what I mean? Like, it's not EJ's not ready.
Hey, look what Jalen said. Hey, you gotta love Jalen. She said, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
She a huge Errol Spence fan. Randall 700, what up? But go ahead, Clay. Exactly. Sorry about that.
No, 100%. Shout out to Jalen, man. You hitting it right on the nail, Jalen. That's what I'm going with. That's what I believe it is. I don't think that these fights would even be getting confirmed if Errol Spence wasn't ready to fight. Listen, Errol Spence was on point as far as I'm concerned the night he walked into the ring and looked up at Sebastian Fundora and said, you facing the big dog now. That night he was good as far as I'm concerned. Nothing's happened between that night and today. He's been ready ever since that night. So what's the holdup? I don't believe it's EJ, is what I'm saying. I don't believe it's EJ. I don't think EJ's holding this fight up. You know what I mean? I don't think he's holding it up in the sense of he's not ready. He might be holding it up in the sense of that ain't enough money. He might be holding up in the sense of what's up with the deal you guys said I had coming across the table. Where's Errol Spence's deal? Where's his Gervonta Tank Davis deal? Where's his Canelo Alvarez deal? Where is Errol Spence's guaranteed money? Pay-per-view is going out of style. People are stealing pay-per-views every day. I think we're going to find out a little bit about that when Gervonta Tank Davis fights Lamont Roach, personally. I believe we're going to find out a lot about that, about how pay-per-views work, right? So what fighter today is willing to bet on their ability to sell pay-per-views as the foundation to judging to gauging how much money they're going to make when they know people are stealing pay-per-views more than ever, streaming fights more than ever, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. Hence why Tank Davis pushed to have his guaranteed money. He said, I want my guaranteed money, bro. And I'm the guy. I know I'm going to sell. I know I'm popular. This ain't about me scared I'm not going to sell. This is about we know where the future of boxing is going, and we want guaranteed money. Same thing with Canelo Alvarez. I want my guaranteed money. Put it in the escrow. Let me see it. $32 million. If I don't see it, I'm not interested in talking no business. You know what I mean? And why wouldn't Errol Spence naturally feel the same? Why wouldn't he push the same exact narrative for his own career? And the question is, has the PBC been able to gather up these guarantees for a fighter like Errol Spence? A lot of fighters today are facing it. You know, from what I understand, Rolly Romero
Mm-hmm.
operated on the back end of getting a guarantee for pay-per-view. Now, I understand he didn't really come up like that on that fight he had with Isak. It didn't really work out in his favor like he wanted it to work out. That's what I'm hearing the rumor. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Oscar was making fun of him like, yo, bro, what kind of deal? You just passed up guaranteed money to fight Ryan Garcia to go and get no upfront money for real, and probably not going to get that back end like you think you're going to get, because the pay-per-view is not promised to do that. It was, at the time, it was Tszyu and Keith Thurman, a fight that nobody wanted to see at a catchweight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I'm saying, Clay. Like it's something up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's something up, man. It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
100% Kawhi Elliott, the business of boxing holding up most of these fights. The business model that the PBC had, the structure that they had with Showtime, the kill what you eat, the eat what you kill business model, right? That we're going to pay you, you're going to get your money on the back end of these pay-per-view sales. That model's going out of style because pay-per-views aren't moving the same way they used to move. People are stealing these fights hand over fist. And I'm telling you, that's why I say a Lamont Roach versus Tank Davis fight, in my opinion, is a fight that's not good for boxing, right? When people say, what are you saying you're hating? The reason I say that is because you're motivating people and giving people invested interest into stealing these fights. People see these fights. When you see Turkey Al-Sheikh dropping a fight for $20, and then you see Tank coming through to drop a fight between him and Lamont Roach, and PBC is going to want to charge somewhere between $70 to $90, that's going to motivate a lot of people. A lot of people are looking at this fight like that just ain't worth my money, bro. It just isn't. And I'm talking about fans of Tank, fans of the PBC are looking at it like that. And what are they going to do? What they're going to do is they're going to go steal the fight, because they're not going to not watch it. They want to see Tank fight. They're going to go stream it. And it's like, it's kind of like getting on heroin or smoking crack. You don't just do things like that one time. You know what I'm saying? When you do things like that, you generally stay there.
Yeah, you commit to it.
Yeah, you generally stay there. So as they're putting on these type of events, Blue, what's happening is people who used to buy pay-per-views are not going to become people who are going to be like, why buy something or pay for something that I can do for free? I remember Trick said, you know, I don't know if you guys know Trick from Detroit. He said this one line one time. He said, why would I go? He's like, I can go buy, an ounce of, what I'm saying, flowers, we'll say, from somebody. But if I walk up on him and realize that I shouldn't be paying him for that I should be taking it from him, my mind can change, right? Because why in the hell would I pay for something I could get for free? Why would I do it? Why would I pay for something I can get for? I now know how to stream. I know the website. I know where to get it done at. My experience was great. I watched the whole event straight through the same way as when I've been paying for pay-per-views. Why would I go back to paying for something I can get for free? And you lose the fan base. Slowly but surely, you lose the guys who were committed to supporting you and paying for fights. You start losing them to just the natural order of events. In an economy that's as bad as this one is, where inflation is where it's at, people are looking at the money they're spending. They want it to make sense. Every dollar counts. They want a return on their investment. If they put money out, they want to get something back for it. And a Lamont Roach and a Tank Davis fight gives fans a reason to steal the fight off the strength of this fight is not worth my money. But now when you have the real events that come that are all worth the money, all those same fans going to now support and pay $70, $90 when they know they can go do it for free.
Right, exactly. Let's put the link in the chat so we can get the I seen a couple of brothers had clicked the link.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they say. But yeah, man, it just to me, it's alarming to me, Clay. You know what I'm saying? It's because to me, it's like I blocked that dude, Thomas Johnson.
Yeah, talking about Turkey losing millions every event.
Yeah. Nasty work, bro. These people are weird, bro. But yeah, so the thing is,
you guys are going to hear about it as the months go by. And then years go by, you'll remember these conversations that we're having. You'll see it, because no matter how much you guys talk about it the way you want to talk about it, or try to paint us as haters or people who, no matter how you want to do it, you can't stop the rain, bro. You can't stop the truth from coming out, bro. What's in the dark is going to come out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out about it all. Trust me.
Yep.
I promise you.
Yep. So
yeah, I'm being real.
So here's the thing, right? Now we have, and people, the link is in the chat. If you want to click the link, you want to speak your piece, you want to discuss anything, the link is in the chat. All you got to do is click the link. Not a debate. I'm not debating anybody. I'm just saying, if you want to speak your piece, you want to have a conversation, the link is right there in the chat now. You can click the link and come on up and speak your piece, man. You're welcome to come on up and speak your piece. Click the link. You ain't got to turn your camera on. You could come up here and speak your piece and chop it up with us and get off whatever you want to get off from your chest. But if you come up here to debate and you talking slick in the chat, then you got to put your camera on. But we got my brother AK Crowder in the building.
What's good, AK?
What's shaking with you?
Salute, gentlemen. Salute. How y'all doing?
Man,
doing
just
good, family. How you?
Hey, this is the best combination since my brother that left us. You and him, man. I'm at all. Y'all like TV to me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know you, but salute to the historian. But this man right here that you got now, bro, 100.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
You know how I felt about the side with no A. But yeah, that's my man. Y'all, my mans. I'm just here listening while I'm working. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
man, I
you.
appreciate you. Thank you, family.
Hey,
you already know, Clay. I'm rocking with you, baby.
Thank you, King. I really appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's love for sure. Yeah, man. So it's now look like we're gonna get Benavidez, Morrell in January. Charlo versus Jesus Ramos.
Right.
And Jamal Charlo trying to push for the Andre fight.
Right, for Dimitri, right?
Yeah. Which is all big fights. It's good fights for us.
Official fights, but none of those guys are fighting for free. And the David, so that's the only thing. If those fights don't happen, I'm telling you, there's a reason. If they don't happen, it ain't because these fighters don't want it to happen. On the David Benavidez cards, it seems like Ryo and Isak is going to be the co-main event for that card still, right? That they're going to have Ryo and Isak on the co-main event. That. Do you know if De Los Santos is fighting on the tank card?
Oh, you know something, Clay? I completely forgot about that.
He's fighting on that card, right?
Yeah, Isaac Cruz is supposed to fight Ryo on the Benavidez card as well. Now, right. I wonder, he had the falling out with Senior.
Right.
I wonder if that's going to play a part on it, if that's going to have factor in,
as far as the relationship between the PBC and maybe Ryo or something like that.
Right.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because I think a lot of Jose Benavidez Sr. seems to be really in the dark as to what motivated Rhyan Venezuela to go in that direction. He seems to genuinely be in the dark, like genuinely be like, I have no idea where this came from, right? And I put a video out about it, and I said, well, damn, you're either disconnected and you're not present and you can't read the room as to what's going on with Ryo, where you're not talking to him, or Ryo's had something change. He's had something change in an opportunity or whatever have you that's in front of him that's made him make this decision and ultimately sound like he's committing to Robert Garcia. But who else is he committing to? Because we still haven't gotten information as to, all right, Jose Benavidez isn't the manager anymore. Who is the manager for Rhyan Venezuela now? Who represents Rhyan Venezuela's interests right now as far as boxing is concerned? Who's coordinating his business affairs? And do they have a relationship with the PBC? Or are we looking at potential issues that just haven't been brought to the surface yet as far as Rhyan Venezuela's loyalties and where he plans on being after this fight with Isak Cruz? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because who's his manager now? Who is it? Is it Robert Garcia? Robert Garcia, does he have any fighters on the PBC platform, maybe. I guess I don't know of any. I know he definitely has his fighters at Golden Boy for sure. He's got Bam Rodriguez over at Matchroom. You know what I'm saying? He's got those fights there. But what does he have? What kind of relationship is Robert Garcia working with the PBC right now? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like he's training Jose Ramirez. That's a Golden Boy fighter. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out for him. And as far as Ryo's concerned, he needs to be aware if he's not in the proper space with the PBC, then he needs to be careful of decisions and things like that in that fight, because it could go, you know what I'm saying? They can go with Isak. But let me ask you, is Isak Cruz is a PBC fighter, right? Or isn't he?
Yeah. No, he's a Manny Pacquiao fighter. Exactly. But he fights under the PBC promotional banner though.
Well, he performed because the PBC being a platform.
It's like Tim Tszyu. It's like Tim Tszyu.
Exactly. So he's really not the home team. He's really not the PBC necessarily. He's like Tim Tszyu, like you said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how these work out. Isak Cruz fought what? He fought Rhyan Venezuela this year. He fought Rolly Romero this year. And he's going to fight Rhyan Venezuela again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Baker, what's up? I wonder, you know, I guess it seemed like it's personal between him and Jose, right? That seems like it's something personal going on.
I mean, yeah, that's what it seems like. But according to Jose Benavidez, he has no idea. I mean, you know how that goes. They could just be saying what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But Jose's like, yo, I don't know where that came from. I got you a fight with Isak. You're about to do a rematch called with Isak Cruz. You're about to get a big payday. I don't know where this is coming from. You know, from his point of view. And yeah, I mean, it does seem personal because Ryo didn't reach out to him and make a phone call. Right. Yeah, he sent him a letter and an email, and you know, I mean, he kind of did it in a nasty way. It really looked nasty from the outside looking in the way he did it.
Right.
The way he did it. So I mean, we'll see how that pans out. But he's supposed to be on the co-headliner for David Benavidez and David Morrell. Do you think that fight is going to be free for real, or that doesn't even make sense? I just don't see how that would make sense.
That's what we got to see.
That doesn't make sense to me. Like, especially with Isak and Ryo as a co-main event. I mean, that's a hell of a free fight. I welcome it. Listen, you want to give it for free, I'm here for it, bro. I appreciate you 100%. You know what I'm saying? But especially in comparison to this last free fight you gave us, that would be just a super step up. That would put a lot of good faith into the PBC fan base, into the boxing space about the future of the PBC if they were to give that for free.
Right, exactly. My brother, Round One Sports Talk is in the building.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? How you gentlemen doing tonight?
Man, doing good, brother. How you?
In your world, great brother.
Oh man, I'm just sitting in listening to some good boxing talk, and just coming in and seeing what you guys were talking about and stuff. I'm coming off a couple good interviews. I just interviewed John Scully, the trainer of Arthur Benavidez. So there's a couple good things on that interview that he stated and that he revealed, in fact, where that we were talking on the interview, and I said, do you think that there's a rematch, for this fight? And he told me, well, honestly, I got a phone call this morning saying Ed Hearn doesn't want to no longer do business with Turki Ali-Sheikh. And he said that on my platform.
Whoa!
Really?
It's on my platform. It's on it. You guys can check it out. I got receipts.
Put the link in the chat.
Yes, definitely. What? Are you serious?
Yeah, he said it himself.
Wow.
So I mean, I tried to come on yesterday with Blue. I was going, put you on a game and shit, but you got to rumble it with everybody. I know how it is. I know how it goes. So I was like, okay, let me see. And I stopped in. And then today I did a little interview with Rachel Donaire. I did one with her today. I did one with Subriel Matias, and I did one with Jermaine Ortiz and Supernova this week. So I got a few good interviews, but that one with Arthur's trainer there, John Scully. You know, it was a really good interview. He gave his insight on it. Like I said, I'm gonna drop it in the link right here when I get a chance. And he said some interesting things, you know, in the interview, and you guys can go check it out. And I was like, you know, and we were talking about like in the moment in the car ride too at 3 a.m. It was so real. He was in the car with him.
Hey,
And
hold on one second, Round. Hey, my brother is back. He's back. Salute.
Cheese.
Charles
Yeah.
Edward Cheese.
Take
Where you
had to
been
take
at,
care
bro?
of his
Had us
health.
concerned, bro.
Yeah, he popped up yesterday in the show and showed some love, man. I was in shock. He didn't pop up in the show though, but he you know, I mean, he showed some love early and just kind of like made his presence know that he's back at it. Yeah, we've definitely been asking about you, bro, wondering what's going on with you, man.
Had us concerned. Salute to my brother Charles Edward Cheese dropping that hundo. On this in the super chat, he said, "Brother Blue, we back in the building. Had to take care of this health. Gucci now. Blessings to all. Blessings to you, King. Man, salute
100%.
to you, King. Man, glad you're healthy, brother.
Cheese back, bro.
Yeah,
That's
man,
crazy.
glad you're healthy, great brother. There goes the link. Round One Sports. Let me pin that up. Oh man, what did I just do? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I just did something to my computer.
Oh, I'm pulling it up right now. I'll put it in there. I'm gonna put it up right now. Hold on. Let me find you. There we go. Bow, 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 bow.
And he also reveals who they want him to fight next.
And so who they want him to fight next? It's not Bivol.
No.
So is Bivol kind of passing on the opportunity right now?
No, he's not. He's actually fighting for a judgment call right now, and he wants to, like, I guess, you know, at least acknowledge him for a rematch, you know, in a sense, you know, the rumor, I guess, being the fact that, you know, they'll fight the winner out of David Morrell and David the Monster Benavidez, you know. What ends up happening, money changes everything. We all know that. We know that in the sport of boxing, you know. And
I'm trying to find the video. I see you got a couple of videos up here. I'm trying to find it. So wait, break it down. So
it's live. Go to the live.
It's a live. Boom. Got you.
I pinned it up. I pinned it up in the chat.
Okay.
Yep.
It's pinned up in the chat right now. People click the link. Check out that interview, Round One Sports Talk. Great brother did. It's pinned up in the chat right now. He's dropping some jewels on us, you know, dropping some breaking news on us, man. Some interesting news, man. But
so
don't give them too much because I want them to watch the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let click the link and watch the interview, and let's get some of that knowledge, man. Soak up that interview.
And he also said that you know, we hinted to the fact to see if we can get Arthur on the show. He said he doesn't like doing a lot of interviews, but at the end of the interview, he texted me and he said he had a great time. He enjoyed it, and he's gonna, you know, pass it on to him to, you know, maybe, you know. And I was like, yo, that would be awesome. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not saying that he's coming on or anything, but yeah, you know, we talked about it in the interview and stuff. And I mean, it was a great fight. You know, what I thought about the fight myself, you know, I thought that Demetrius Bivol did a lot of great work in between the middle rounds, and I felt like I was watching Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Trinidad, where Oscar ran the last 3 rounds, you know, where that he didn't secure the championship rounds in a sense to me. And what did the judges see at the end?
That's a great comparison.
What did the judges see at the end? They saw Demetrius Bivol almost being finished. You know, he was 100%. On the road feeding through. He threw no point. That was the last impression that the judges got. You know, when Teofimo Lopez won that fight against Loma, I felt like he won it in the championship rounds. He stood his ground. He showed the world he wanted to win. That's what won him that fight. You know, a lot of these fights were decided. I was on my live and I was saying it. Here we go, guys. This is the championship rounds. A lot of them early rounds were swing rounds. They could have went either way.
Right.
If we're talking about a competitive fight and how close it could be, there's one word I cannot use in this fight: robbery. It doesn't apply.
No, definitely wasn't a robbery. And you know what's
not
up?
apply.
Round one, I said the same thing when me and Clay was calling the fight. What did I say, Clay? Going into 11th round, I said Dimitri Bivol gotta win these
at least
rounds.
one of these rounds. Yeah, he gotta leave at least win one.
And I said the 11th round specifically because that he had more momentum at that point in time. You gotta win, and I said he gotta win the 11th round decisively. That would embedded in the judge's brain that you was in control of these fights. In those close rounds, you can sway their opinion. Now they already scored the cards, but you can. And one judge gave Artur Beterbiev 5 straight rounds, which was ridiculous. He gave him 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm like, bro, what was you watching? You missed a good fight, bro. Come on, man. But nonetheless. Right, I said Bivol needed to win those rounds specifically because it was such a close fight. Styles make fights. Artur was the aggressor. He's the big puncher. His punches was having more effect on Bivol than Bivol's punches was on him. Bivol was more of a gnat. It was more accumulation, just touching, scoring points. Artur was landing devastating heavy punches that was having his body language was saying that he was hurt from them punches. He didn't want to get touched. So I was saying that those styles, you look like you said, it was that you couldn't have said it any better. That's exactly what took place. You know what's crazy, Clay? I was in my head, I'm like, man, what did this fight remind me of? And that's it. The Oscar De La Hoya Trinidad fight.
Doesn't it? Didn't it?
Yeah.
That was it.
It was like he took his foot, like he just knew he won.
Listen, Oscar was winning that fight. I was at home. I'm Puerto Rican. I was like, Felix, you are down. You are losing. And those last 3 rounds, he gave them away.
100%.
And I was like,
I said that on my video that I put out on my the read.
1 second, Clay. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, no doubt. I put that in my video that I put out there, and I definitely compared that to the Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Trinidad fight, and the way Oscar lost. And a lot of people were upset. They were saying the same thing. Oh man, Oscar got robbed. He got robbed. He dominated. Like, how could he lose a fight when he won like the first 7 rounds easily, hands down? How is it possible? And like you said, those championship rounds, a lot of people don't like to acknowledge them. They're like, ain't no championship rounds. Listen, man, these judges acknowledge it. There is definitely championship rounds. Every round isn't judged equally. Those championship rounds hold a lot of weight and will sway. And answer me this, Edwin. Tell me how you feel about this, because I don't know this to be true or not to be true. But I would say that when it comes to those swing rounds, those championship rounds sometimes come full circle to affect those swing rounds. You got judges who be like, I don't know who won round 5, but you know what? Effective pressure. I see what Artur Beterbiev was doing in the 7th round affected what we saw in the 11th round. So I'm going to give him the 7th where I didn't know which way to go with it. And I say the 7th because if you remember that round, Bivol got into a little melee with Artur Beterbiev and looked like he hurt Beterbiev in that round. Like it looked like he actually caught him and hurt him, but Bivol being overconfident and thinking that he had Beterbiev, over pursued him, and Beterbiev clipped him and hurt him and moved the whole momentum of that round and took the last like 45 seconds or so of that round. And I was saying to myself before that point, I did have Dimitri Bivol kind of winning that round, but I felt like Artur Beterbiev stole that round from him in that last 45 seconds of that round. So if a judge is judging that round and looking at that round and wondering how effective Beterbiev was in that 7th round and didn't necessarily score it yet and just had it kind of like in the air, like 10-10 or something like that, those last 3 rounds in that fight would have him give that round to Artur Beterbiev. What do you think about that?
Let me let the fight fans in on a little something that it's apparent, but we got to acknowledge. What separates a championship fights is 2 rounds. All the fights are 10-round fights, non-title. Championship rounds got an extra 2 rounds. For why? They're championship rounds. You got to count them. That's why they're put in place. You see? Without a world title, 10 rounds. 12 rounds, 12. That's where the legends are made. You see? So that's why those rounds are important. As far as the scoring system, with each round that passes, the referee walks around and grabs the pantlet, from every judge. So that's how it's awarded.
Boom.
Now, who's to say in that Arthur and Demetrius Bivol round, that 12th round, Demetrius Bivol didn't land a single shot? Who's to say him being hurt, stunned that bad, they didn't see it in 10-8? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why those rounds were important. He was fatigued. He was drained. He was a beaten man. And then if we're going by the point system, by like the judging, right, which you related to, it is determined by effective punching. If we cannot determine by effective punching, it is awarded to the fighter that is forward aggression. Who is going backwards all night? Demetrius Bivol. Who is clinching? Demetrius Bivol.
100%.
Okay? So if I cannot
retreating.
determine, judging, officiating, judging, I'm letting the fans know that, yes, you can land 20 jabs in a round. But if I hit you with one shot and you stagger, guess who's winning the round? If I got you going backwards and you're clinching, guess who's winning the round? So you might have did a lot of showboating combinations in between that. But you didn't seal the deal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
and
you definitely put some perspective on it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And under the way that the judges are viewing it, effective punching first.
Right.
Forward aggression second. Who is going backwards?
Dimitri. Facts. 100%. You put some real perspective on it. And you know what? I didn't know that they were going around collecting the cards every single round, because I was wondering how they were handling.
They collect the cards. They collect the cards.
I didn't know how they handle those swing rounds. You know what I'm saying? I was saying to myself, were some of these rounds kind of like decided late, or did they go back and I was wondering how that worked.
Right in the moment. Yep.
Right.
But those last championship rounds were crucial. You can't give away the last 3 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Under a championship. And we're talking about 5 belts on the line here. Respectfully, right?
But I was gonna say that. I said that at the beginning of our live when we were covering the fight. That's the first
IBO,
5 belt era.
Yes, that's the first. Let's acknowledge that, people. Let's acknowledge that.
They don't want to. They don't want to acknowledge the IBO. They don't want to. They don't want to acknowledge it.
It might not be an official. It might not be an official world title. Yes, I understand, but they can damn well say they were there on that night.
Right.
The organization. We were a part of that fight.
Oh yes, we were.
We were a part of it. Our belt was there.
Yeah. Artur Benavidez is walking around with that green mother. He's walking around with that thing right now.
Like a champion, wearing it like a real champion. Okay.
Right next to the mother belts.
So they were present. I understand they're not officially there, but let's acknowledge this as the first legitimate 5 belt
era.
Yeah, come on, man.
It is
went
what it
down.
is.
I saw it.
The only one. The only one, right?
That's him.
That's the only one. He's the only one. Artur Benavidez is the only one, bro. Nobody else has done it. You can say whatever you want to say. That you can't take that away from him. And I think that within itself is Hall of Fame energy, right? Yeah. Hall of Fame conversation and energy when you're talking about Artur Benavidez, that 5 belt era champion walking around with 5 belts. So it's interesting. That night was a great night of boxing, though. That fight was that night was a great night as well. I mean, the way they split it up, with Fabio Wardley and that crazy stoppage he had, Chris Eubanks and all the nonsense him and Conor did, and it was just a fun night of boxing. There were things going on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But moving forward though, and kind of going back at the same time, you were heading in a direction, and you were about to share with the community who Artur Beterbiev may be looking at fighting next. You were just about to bring that out, and you didn't drop that. I'm not going to let that slide.
No. Of course. They would have to go on the video on my site to get that.
Okay,
if you want that.
okay.
You see what
Hey,
I'm
hey,
saying?
man, I hear you.
Okay,
And he fixed
okay,
his shades. Hey, I love it. I
show
love
me
it.
some love. Show me some love. You know what I mean?
I
But
love
hey,
it. I love
Clay,
it.
can I ask you a question? Clay,
Yeah,
can I ask you a question, Clay?
for sure.
What was your impression, and were you shocked to watch that Tim Tszyu fight?
Wow. What was my impression? My impression.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming as far as the way it happened. It was kind of like the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford situation, right? Where I felt Terrence was going to win the fight, but I didn't think he was going to win it like that. Now, did I feel Bakhram was going to win the fight? I was in the air, but I kept telling everybody, listen, this is going to be a competitive fight. I know it's going to be. And those odds were just off, right? That 5-1 nonsense.
6-1.
Like,
no. 6-1.
6-1, right? It was just like, you guys ain't really watching. Something's missing here because this dude is an undefeated fighter. You know what I mean? Decent knockout ratio. This guy's coming to fight. And once again, and me and you've had this conversation before, Edwin, these damn Eastern Europeans, if you don't stop sleeping on these I don't know when y'all gonna stop sleeping on these guys and what they bring to the table, that pedigree they bring to the table. They're in these fights. These Eastern Europeans, when they fight, they're in these fights. And I knew it could happen.
Clay,
now, just to wrap it up and just say like this, I feel like there was some karma involved. There was a little karma going on in that ring. There was a little karmatic energy kind of taking place in that ring. There was some outside forces of nature kind of exuding justice into that ring. But I felt bad for Tim Tszyu because I felt like, damn, bro, in my opinion, he may have been mishandled. The management, his team, everybody around him may have mishandled this man's career.
Wait, I got to give you a little pushback on that, Clay, right? Check this out, right? When you're starting to hear that little thing, and I've heard it on quite a few platforms, that Tim Bradley said that this was poor matchmaking or whatever. What are you talking about matchmaking? Tim Tszyu was
not matchmaking, management.
Right. Okay. No, but I disagree because I say to this. Tim Tszyu's a world champion. The training wheels are off. He dared to be great. He came up short. That's it. He lost the fight. He got rocked in the fight. Look, they might have looked at this guy.
No, listen, I'm not talking about that fight because that's what Tim is supposed to do. That's the champion. If you want to be a champion, you got to fight a champion. That's who Bakhram was. That was Tim Tszyu aiming to be great. I'm talking about the handling of the Sebastian Fundora situation, the way that fight came about, the way Keith Thurman had to pull out that fight because of the injury, the 10 days notice he had to now be in a unified championship fight.
Complete situation.
The complete situations that's led up to this point, to what's happened. It was an unfortunate situation for him to get stopped the way he did.
You might have a little point there because there was something I saw in the fight that really I didn't know how to share this with the boxing fans. I didn't know how to describe it, right? And I'm gonna do my best. When he clashed heads, Tim Tszyu immediately wiped his head like this, right? And he looks into his glove and he sees there's no blood. Then you got to pay attention. He wipes again. Then he taps. He goes back and he gives it a final wipe, which indicated he was feeling blood coming down. And I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying.
I know you're talking about liquid on the brain.
He was feeling the blood come down his face, right? And I've heard this in gyms. At that moment, his body might have sparked something that told himself, I need a sense of urgency. They're going to stop the fight like he did in Sebastian Fundora with that fight. And that would explain why he was so aggressive. It would explain why he was so aggressive so early in that fight. Like it took me a little back that Tim Tszyu right away started exchanging big punches with him after the clash of heads. It was no more 100%. Feeling out. He like, and then I was saying to myself, I've seen that somewhere, but I don't really know how to like describe it. And I'm not sure that I'm not a doctor. I wasn't in there. I can't say 100 this happened.
Well, you know what it is that typically is described as phantom. It's a phantom feeling, right? So it's like when you get a limb removed, you can feel You still can feel the limb.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like a phantom pain, right?
Yes.
But the problem is that he actually had a collision there. He actually had trauma there, right? So it did look like, me and Clay was saying, is it bleeding? Because it was so red, you know, it did give the indication that it was bleeding in some angles, that he was turning, right? It was so red and was so bruised, right? And then he was getting pieced up in that area as well, you know. So he did, like you said, he turned the switch on. He felt a sense of urgency, and he felt like he was gonna, like you said, like, you know, he thought, like, back to the Fundora situation.
Right.
If I don't step on the gas and they stop this fight, because I think that I think in the sense that it was also to him saying to himself, maybe in the next round or a punch or two, it's going to open up. You know what I'm saying?
It was a real thing.
Right. And so that's why I was telling Clay, I said, he don't trust it. He don't trust. He wasn't confident that injury was fully healed.
And that brings to the point of Clay's point. Maybe it was bad management because he really wasn't ready.
Right.
You see?
Right.
And remember, he was actually supposed to fight in August.
Right. They were rushing him along so much.
Right.
You're supposed to fight Virgil, right? You're supposed to fight Virgil.
There's another side to that puzzle, right? Where that I said to myself, perhaps Tszyu's coach and trainers viewed him as a C+ fighter, and they thought that just because he fought like a C+ fighter, that his ring IQ was that of a C+ fighter. His ring IQ was much sharper, and he was able to detect windows at a much better rate that they anticipated. He obviously did his homework, because when Tszyu leaned in to do that shot, he hit him so sharp. Tszyu didn't see it. He hit him so sharp that he didn't know what he got hit with, that he kept throwing the same punch and made no adjustments to it.
Right.
Because he didn't know what he got hit with. So he didn't think he was doing anything wrong. He was doing what he was trained to do. And he kept clipping him in that window. Boom.
You know what else was alarming to me? After the fight, when he said, "What just happened?"
No, that's not right. Wait a minute. Wait. That's not right. They shouldn't put microphones in a guy that just got a concussion, first of all. That's got to stop. That's got to stop, because Tszyu, he's getting out of the ring, he's concussed, and he's saying, like, what happened? What I get hit with? And now they roasted him on it. They need to stop that, because that man had a full-fledged concussion. Give him a chance to, take that interview. But what he said was, yes, I know what you were hinting to. He didn't see what he got hit with.
Right.
Yeah.
Blue, I know what you're going to say. He didn't know it, and he didn't make no adjustments.
Right.
He didn't correct it.
Right. He didn't know what he got hit with.
Facts.
Right. On top of not knowing what he got hit with, and this is why I don't like to say that fighters are trash or anything of that nature, because just to put your body in a state where it can continue to respond to trauma and not run away. You know, there's a real thing called fight or flight, right? And naturally, as a human being, your reaction is to flight. Your brain is telling, it's not because you're afraid or you're a coward, it's because your brain is telling your body it's in danger.
Right.
Right? Your fight or flight is even within your organs deal with fight or flight every single day. See, I did trauma calls for 17 years in the operating room, right? Your organs, your brain will tell, your brain there's two major organs, the heart, right? And the liver for outside of the brain. And the brain is going to protect the heart and liver by any means necessary.
Even if it's got to shut down other shit.
If it got to shut down other parts of your body, it will shut down. And it starts from that's why it always starts the lower extremities, right? Your toes, because you don't need them. So your brain is like, I don't need your toes. Sorry, see y'all later.
Right.
Yeah, we need this blood flow. That's why the brain will tell your body to push So you don't drown out your heart and your liver and your lungs. The brain will tell your body to push all that fluid down. So that's why your ankles, your feet swell, your knees swell before it works its way up.
All right.
Because your brain is telling, hey, keep it away from us as long as possible. Right? And stage it off. Those are why you get those signs. You get the signs. Your ankles
That's
swelling.
why his legs weren't underneath him.
Right. And
his
so
leg, it started shutting down.
Right. And here's what people don't understand about being knocked out or being knocked down. What it is people be like, man, he got hit so hard he's knocked out. No, your brain is protecting your body. It's telling us, shut down. We in danger. Let's turn off right now. Right? Your brain doesn't understand that somebody else is doing harm to you. It's just telling us, shut down. So any form of trauma, the brain is going to say, shut us down. We got to shut down because that's how we recoup. That's how we're able to recover, right? That's why they keep you under sedation so that you can recover, right? As long as you are not in a sedated state, sleeping state, you are making your organs, you're making your body without understanding, right? That it's making it work. So it will automatically shut down. So to watch Tszyu train your brain, because that's what you do. You're training your brain as a combat athlete to continue to be able to respond consciously to trauma.
Right.
And he kept getting knocked down. And the fact, like you said, he was concussed. But his body kept saying, get back up. Like Devin Haney, get back up.
And go get your lick.
But most importantly, Blue Blood, right? Most importantly, right? His body said, get back up. But he was in a situation, in a place he's never been before. He didn't know how to clinch. He didn't know how to hold. He started slugging punches and exchanging with him when he shouldn't have. When he should have just held. It's not like in the gym, Tszyu's coach is telling him, okay, Tszyu, we're going to go over the knockdown drill. This guy's going to hit you. You're going to go down. When you get up, you're going to clinch him. They don't run that drill. The only way you know this is going to happen is when your fighter's in that situation, and how is he going to respond? And then another thing speaks to when a fighter is an undefeated fighter, they don't know how to lose. Their spirit really hasn't been broken. When a fighter loses for the first time, you got that already, they're already mentally, know that they've been beaten before. You see? So it's a different process. Tszyu got hit with that headbutt, and I feel that it really brought him back to the Fundora fight. 100%. When we speak about flashbacks, it's a real thing.
1000%.
Right? It's a real thing. And I believe that there was, he did so many things I didn't expect Tszyu to do. Watching him fight against Tony Harrison, the good things he did, the well-disciplined, the tighter defense, everything. It was just, even with Sebastian Fundora with a head, blood gushing, no one vision, he managed to break his nose. Like he still it was competitive. This 100%. Looked like a walkthrough. It looked like the other guy was 6-1 favorite underdog. It was such a one-sided event.
Edwin, it looked like Bakhram mentally broke him early. Tszyu was broken mentally. It wasn't about it wasn't about his boxing skills. It wasn't about that. He was gone very early. Once, and I agree with you. And that sense of urgency that you're talking about, I like that. That's a real clean perspective on what we saw. Because if anybody wanted to understand what you were seeing in Tszyu, was Tszyu had a sense of urgency that people were wondering why. Why so early in the fight do you have? Why are you being so aggressive? Why are you chasing this dude down? He keeps flipping you. You keep getting caught with his damn left hook, and you're getting sat on your pockets. You're standing back up, and you're looking disheveled. And what you're seeing is, I need to get this guy out of here. I gotta get, for whatever reason.
And one more small thing. And my father came to my first fight. He's sitting in the audience, This is the first fight my dad came to, basically, to watch me. And the first time he came, he witnessed his son getting brutally knocked out. He kept getting up. I'm not going to say it was a factor. I'm just going to throw that in there. Boop.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. He made no adjustments.
Yeah.
Zero adjustments, man.
Because he
None.
was focused on one thing. He became OTM. He became one track minded.
He didn't,
And
and his corner didn't even tell him, yo, you got hit like this. This is what hit you. They told him nothing.
Right.
They didn't give him
you're bringing
no-
it full circle now, Edwin, because now we're getting back into that damn management and that damn corner. Because listen, we can go into a couple of different things. Not only in this fight, even in the Sebastian Fundora fight. Why wouldn't you? He got cut in the second round. Why not stop the
We
damn
talked
fight?
about it, Clay. We talked
right?
about it. We talked about it. I'm a hustler. You know,
Right.
there was 10 other fighters there with 10 other little boxes with that glue in it. I would have went
Right.
in my pocket, got money, and got some help for my fighter. They
Somebody.
froze.
They froze.
in that corner.
They
were
got one
putting-
track minded.
They were putting Vaseline in prayer. Please stop breathing. Please stop.
Please
Man,
stop
that
bleeding.
ain't
They were
gonna work.
stuffing that thing with Vaseline. It was like, what are you
Bro,
doing?
Vaseline doesn't stop bleeding.
No way. No way.
This is amateur night at the Apollo in that corner.
They could have stopped the fight. They could have stopped the fight and got away with they could have got paid, got the rematch. Who knows how badly cut and how damaged his head got just based off of fighting. He had to fight 10 rounds with his head split to the white meat. 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Look, check it out. I dare you, go back and watch that fight, right? And name me just one round that they put Vaseline on his face. They were so concerned with the cut that they thought,
they weren't trying to
you
curb
got
the
enough
blood. If they
blood
put
on
it on
your
his
face.
face. Yeah.
They never went like this.
Right.
Never.
Right.
They didn't help him out in no way. And no.
So we got a bad corner. We got to listen. Let's look at it in all real time. We've got a situation where you allowed your fighter to go from a catchweight fight with a Keith Thurman who hadn't fought in 2.5 years, no title on the line. Okay, I got you. Keith Thurman gets pulled out because he gets an injury. Now you throw me in front of a towering inferno, southpaw, right? You put no contingencies in the contract to protect the fighter. No rematch clause. No, listen, if we're down to do the fight, but if we're going to do the fight, we need to make sure certain things are there to protect our fighter who hasn't had an opportunity to spar, to properly train and prepare to fight against this a fight of this magnitude, a unification title fight. Then you have a corner who he gets his head split to the white meat in the second round. You guys are stuffing Vaseline inside the hole. Nobody's thinking about, you know what, we can call this fight. He did not have to finish that fight. He could have easily stopped the fight right then and there and had a rematch on that fight. Now you have a fighter going into a Bakhram fight with PTSD. He's sitting there with a whole bunch of shit going on in his head about what happened in another fight. He's being pulled in every direction. Turkey Alashik trying to get him to fight Terrence Crawford. PBC's trying to get him to stay over here. He's dealing with all these mental obstacles. You put his legendary, damn near Hall of Fame father in the damn front row of the fight. You know what I'm saying? And now this dude is checking for blood on his head. He doesn't want to lose this fight. He has a sense of urgency and puts himself in a position where he gets knocked down 5 times and stopped inside of 3 rounds. Yes, he dared to be great, but his corner and his management company did not put him in the best mental space. They did not protect Tszyu's best interest, and he suffered an unfortunate worst case scenario Saturday night against Bakhram.
Yeah, I could see all those points, and I look, I was calling this fight from the beginning, and I was saying that Bakhram was a strong puncher, and I felt that he wasn't the most technical of boxers, but like we spoke about this, you can't sleep on these guys anymore. There's some hard hitting individuals, and I think that, you know, where does Tszyu go from here? You talk about his corner and firing his team. It's hard when you're working with family. His uncle's his trainer. He's got a lot of his cornermen are family, and it's a family-oriented structure. It's just like kind of like a Devin Haney, Bill Haney situation where I don't feel that you should get rid of Bill, right? But I think he should take a step back and allow other people to give him son a better foot. And I believe if you always love your son, You have to recognize that sometimes you got to take yourself out of the equation to give him the best foot forward, you know. And so those are the decisions between family. It's tough when you're dealing with family. With Tim Tszyu situation, you know, his entire corner are family members. But I'm in agreement that maybe they took him as far as he can go, and maybe he might just need a new team. What do you guys think?
I think it's a conversation that could be visited. I don't know if it needs to be extreme as firing everybody. I see people in the chat like, what are you guys talking about? I just gave you guys a whole scenario, not beyond this fight. Beyond this fight, I'm not just judging them based off of this fight with Bakhram. I'm saying this man was a super active fighter last year, prospect to be one of the biggest stars in the PBC. He was a big deal. He had a country behind him. This guy was looked at as the best 154-pounder at one point in time, outside of Jermell Charlo, who wasn't active, who just got his ass whooped by Canelo Alvarez. How do you, as a management team, not look to protect that asset that you have and be like, listen, you got my guy supposed to fight Terrence Crawford in the negotiation. Terrence Crawford activates a mandatory for the WBO title. You jump in there, you block that fight from happening. You say, okay, you're going to fight Keith Thurman. He agrees with it because Sims, who's a warrior, he's going to fight whoever you put in front of him. Then a last-minute exchange, 10 days before the fight, you put Sebastian Fundora. The management team is supposed to protect his it's supposed to protect their product and be like, look, you guys are doing a lot right now. You guys are really doing a lot right now, but we still willing to do it, but we got to protect our fighter. How is that not part of the conversation?
Right. I like what you're saying and everything about, you know, protect the fighter and so forth. But, you know, what if he would have won this fight? We would be having a different conversation.
100%.
Oh, great fucking management. He dared to be great. He won. Look at him. He's this shit. He pulled it off.
I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said the great man. I would have said Tim Tszyu saved his career by he got lucky, because I was criticizing that whole Sebastian Fundora thing. At that point, I was criticizing it. So I would have said they got a blessing. You know what I would compare it to?
Blessing. You went into the fight 6-1.
Right, but I'm saying if you'd have won the fight,
they would have said we expected you to win.
If he would have became a champion at the end of that fight, he got blessed. He's back in the conversation of becoming undisputed. He has a belt. He got everything taken away from him with no rematch clause. He had to watch Errol Spence walk in the ring and be like, yo, you're dealing with the big dog, while he's sitting on the side trying to stop his head from bleeding when the whole card was on his back. Because if he would have fell back and been like, I'm not fighting Sebastian Fundora, I'm not ready to fight him, you guys, what would have happened to that card? That was PBC's first card with Amazon Prime. That was the first card of the year, right? He saved that card, right? Now, at the end of the day, if he would have won that fight, I would have looked at it the same way as Virgil Ortiz and Serhiy Bohachuk, where a lot of people felt like Virgil lost the fight, but it was a blessing because he got to walk away with a victory. But now he gets to work on whatever it was that was getting him exposed inside that ring. I'd have said Tim got blessed. He got a victory. He got a title shot. I don't think it's the best management job they ever did, but they did a decent job considering that he was a 6-1 favorite. They got him an opportunity to get a belt, and clearly he wasn't a 6-1 favorite. He was a 6-1 on the other side of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't change. It doesn't take away what happened. But unfortunately, what happened did happen. And when it's kind of like those championship rounds. In a championship rounds, this happened, it puts the rest of the fight in perspective. You know what I mean? It puts it in perspective, and the Sebastian Fundora situation comes into conversation about how that was handled. Because he arguably wouldn't have been even in that fight. And if he would have been in that fight, he would have had the mind state of a fighter who's going to take his time, work behind his jab, work that fight in a certain way. He wouldn't have had that sense of urgency because he wouldn't have to deal with the trauma, you know what I'm saying, that happened to him in that Sebastian Fundora fight. Possibly.
Yeah. One of your subscribers here said that you know, he didn't have enough training partners for a guy that's 7 feet tall. Like, you know, to figure out that puzzle, it wasn't like you were giving up just a little bit. I mean, you were training for one fight, enters another guy. He's 6'6" in actuality. And you're like, what the hell is this? So, you know,
he's just southpaw, and he's got an 80-inch arm reach.
I can imagine the jokes in the gym that Tim Tszyu maybe had saying, You know what's not going to happen in this fight? They were like, what? A clash of heads.
Yeah, at least we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
they know that Muay Thai
But
elbow.
they never expected a freak elbow.
Mm-hmm. And salute. Hold on 1 second. Salute to the Lieber 926 in the super chat. He said, "This is what you call high level conversation." Salute to Lieber 926.
Salute to Libra. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of intangibles, right? I mean, we can't predict the future. We don't know what would have happened if they would have done a certain decision. Anything can happen, right? But in the spirit of a good conversation, in the spirit of now that we've seen it all come together, and we're looking at Tszyu today, who right now, in my opinion, is a high risk, low reward fighter. Potentially, he's a fighter who you don't have to fight. Why would you fight him? Why would Erickson Lubinson choose to jump in the ring with Tszyu now when he can get directly into a Bakhram conversation and get a title fight? Why would Terrence Crawford fight Tszyu right now when he, you know what I'm saying, when he didn't do his job and become a champion? Why would Turki Al-Sheikh invest in that product right now? Why would the PBC line up Tszyu against one of their actual PBC fighters that they're trying to come up? He's still the truth. He's still a great fighter, but he's one of those fighters like Boots Ennis, like Gervonta Tank Davis, if he didn't have the Floyd Mayweather machine and the PBC machine behind him. Like these fighters that we see every day, like David Benavidez, these fighters who are high risk. And you don't fight these fighters without belts. You don't fight these fighters without legacy on the line. You don't just fight these fighters. This guy may be like Tim Bradley said, or I think it was Sean Porter said, maybe it might take him damn near 2 years to get back on track to where he was, because now he has to go to Australia. He has to fight a Mike Zarafa. He has to fight somebody who's going to be willing to fight him. He has to get some wins. He has to get up in the sanctioning bodies, get a title shot, get somebody to honor the title shot that he probably has to do it through some sort of a mandatory. He's got to do a lot of work right now, unless, of course, the PBC chooses to be like, you know what? This guy had a bad throw of the dice. I don't like how it looks. We're going to place him in position right now to fight for a title eliminator position or mandatory eliminator position. Oh, third option.
Here's the third option. Fight the Charlo twin when he comes back.
Why would the Charlo twin fight Tszyu right now?
Because first of all, he's coming off the couch. He doesn't have no activeness, and that was a fight that the people once wanted to see. Coming back, Tszyu coming off 2 losses. You got a wounded duck right there, Charlo. And your 2 names would sell. And Charlo could come in and shine on homeboy and try to like put his name back in the 154, because according to my standard of champion, he is technically still the real champion at 154 pounds.
100%.
Okay? Put some respect on the man's name.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So there's your third option. I'm just throwing that out there.
Charlo has to cooperate. Charlo has to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with you. He has to cooperate, though. You know what I mean? The PBC also has to cooperate. Charlo is a money fight. Charlo is also a big money fight against Terrence. He's a big money fight against Errol. He's a big money fight against
fast with some big fucking active fighters.
We're talking about a guy in Jermell Charlo who went to fight Canelo Alvarez and ran around the ring for 12 rounds. And I only say that to say one thing. This man
coming up 3 weight divisions. Coming up 3 weight divisions. That's Superman.
He went up there knowing he wasn't going to win. He knew he went up there knowing he wasn't going to win. That was a money grab.
Charlo. We were asking a lot from him.
But that's what he wanted to do. He said he was going to make it happen.
You know what? But it's saying something out of your mouth and actually pulling it off as a human.
But he ran around, Edwin, for 12 rounds. You know he did. It was
never going to happen. And I told people, if he pulls this off, he'd be the first. That's why the prize was so big. That's why Saul. Wait a minute. Wait. Check this out. Why do you think Saul Canelo Alvarez agreed for that? You can stand to win everything. You stand to win 8 belts simultaneously. All I get is a title defense on my 4. That's all I get. You get to be the first man in history, go to the Hall of Fame for that. You can legitimately go into the Hall of Fame and slide Muhammad Ali's table to the side. Who can argue with you? Who's ever had 8 belts simultaneously?
Right.
You could be, and does he deserve such status? No. That's why the prize was so big.
Right.
It was damn near impossible. The odd makers told, and the crystal ball, the oracles told Tszyu, it is impossible for him to win against a man so skilled as you. If you were putting him with a lesser foe, maybe, perhaps, but not a pound for pound king that knows his way around the ring and knows what your body's going through, because he tried it at 175 going up one weight division, and your ass fell 100%. For it. And your ass fell for it for 3 weight divisions?
Big facts.
Boy, were you asking a lot out of Jamel. And
but
he
Jamel went
bad.
up there knowing he wasn't going to compete.
The money.
Exactly. So what am I saying? So what is my point?
Sign me up
too, right? But what do we know?
I'm coming out of retirement.
But listen, Jamel also walked away from a Bakhram fight, right? He walked away from that Bakhram fight because that was a fight that they wanted him to fight. He walked away from a Tszyu fight. He didn't challenge himself, you know what I'm saying, when he had an opportunity to. As soon as he's done with Canelo, he didn't come back. He let them take his belts. He let him take it one at a damn time. I think he has 1 belt right now that he may be a champion and recess in. So why would that Jamel Charlo to me, I'm questioning his resilience or his, I don't want to say integrity, but I'm saying his wanting to challenge himself that bad enough to where he'll go and fight a Tszyu who just lost 2 fights back to back. 1 fight he actually got stopped in when he can get bigger fights at the division. He could fight Terrence Crawford. He could fight Errol. He could fight. Yeah, he could fight bigger fights.
Magic word. Wait, back up. I can't let you go.
Errol.
Did you say Errol?
Yeah.
You said Errol. You said bigger name, and you said Errol in the same sentence, but
he
you
is a bigger name.
Fight him as a loser. His last fight.
It don't matter. Like he's still Errol. He's still Errol.
Oh, so Tszyu, not Tszyu. He's coming off
more Errol. No,
and
he's more Errol than Tszyu's Tszyu. He's more Errol than Tszyu's Tszyu.
So that's fighting his name. You're fighting his name.
Hey, bro, you're fighting Tszyu's name.
It's sounding like you're picking and choosing who you giving it to.
I'm telling you, I'm just keeping it 100 to say that it's not far-fetched that Jamel Charlo is looking at it that way. That Jamel is looking at it that way. Come on.
Tszyu lost. They're in the same boat. And how can you look over Tszyu just because Errol is Errol?
Because Errol has the PBC behind him. He has a movement behind him. He's a bigger money maker. He can put. They both can Texas. And when we got to bring it all together, Edwin, not just the names, not just the record. We got to bring it all. The PBC's behind Errol.
Really? The PBC need to get their shit together. All right.
Listen, don't even start me up because I've been shitting on. Let me stop. Let me not say that. I've been getting at the PBC all damn day. So trust me.
You came with?
It don't matter. Jamel is going to be concerned. Jamel rocking with the PBC. These dudes is loyal, bro. They're PBC guys. They're loyal. They're PBC guys, bro. They're not. Trust me. I understand what you're saying because I was saying the same thing. I think that, listen, I agree with you 100%, but these guys are PBC guys. They're with Leonard. You know, when Leonard sat there and did his little interview and said, Errol is family. Errol is family. That's how they feel about it, bro.
Something? You're probably right. But I'm also, you know, I gotta also play devil's advocate here too. But an in-house fight, you know how the PBC get down. They rather go that route. They don't gotta fuck with nobody.
Yeah.
An in-fight is more marketable for them to control, and they have no outside sources. So it's more likely in reality sense going to go that way. But yes, absolutely though. You know, I love a good conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Edwin, you know how we carry it. Oh yeah, this is easy. This is easy work. We doing this all day. All day. All day. I'll play the devil's advocate. If it's my turn, I'll be the devil's advocate. I'm here for it. You could be the voice of reason, and I'll be the devil's advocate, stirring the pot, and pissing off the algorithm, bro. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Making the algorithm hate us, bro. That's why I gotta walk out here with a damn concealed weapons permit on me. It's crazy in these streets. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy in these streets. But just kind of like a little more serious, just to say that Tszyu has some work to do to get it back together, to bring it back to where he was at. He's got some fights that need to be made for him. He needs a machine that believes in him, that's going to push him the right way. I don't want to see him get left on the sideline. I don't want to see the PBC be like, okay, thank you, we appreciate you, and leave him. I don't want to see No Limit sitting here I mean, I didn't even like the way the event looked on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even appreciate the production quality of the event for him to be headlining an event that way. It just didn't look good. I want to see the PBC step it up for Tszyu, somebody who I think headlined their first card of the year, headlined their first free card of the year, right? Tszyu, like I said on my last video that I got posted up, has shown and proved that he is a company man. And the company man should be represented the right way. He should get the right push behind him, not left to the side. He's put opportunity to the side for the PBC. He could have done other things. He's not a fighter who's stuck in America. He could have went with Turki Al-Sheikh and chased the bag with Terrence Crawford. He could have went with Turki Al-Sheikh and negotiated some sort of fight because Turki was very interested in. He told Turki Al-Sheikh to go suck on the lollipop, that you acting like a little kid, that I'm a loyal company man to the PBC and to my company that represents me, No Limit. Those companies I want to see stand behind Tszyu now.
That's what I would like to see.
And push him forward the way he deserves to be pushed.
Right. You know, because we talk about company men like AJ, you know, we talk about company men that been around with the same, and they show love. And one day, you know, when your fighter's not winning as much or whatever, you're going to get that phone call. For instance, I might be going a little too far back on this one, but when George Foreman called Bob Arum and he said, Bob, and he said, George, don't tell me you want to fight Evander. He said, more than anything, right?
Yup. You know, I remember.
You know,
sure.
And then he said, don't tell me you want to fight Michael Moore. And he said, yup, more than anything. And those 2 times, Bob Arum came through for him because of what George and him did together.
Exactly.
They got history. He gave blood to them. He showed them loyalty. Now back me up when I needed it. And that is a very good point that you bring up. Let's see if they hang them out to dry. If they say now, oh, nurture's pasture, we're moving on behind you. Or are the people that you turned up life-changing money, opportunity, are they there with, like you were there with them?
100%, brother.
We're going to see.
That's my whole thing. Let's see. That's what I want to know. That's a challenge. That's what, and I think it's important for the space to understand that eyes is on this, that there's eyes on this situation. There are eyes on it. There are boxing fans like me, you, Blue, you know what I mean, whose eyes are on this situation, and we're looking and we going to see. We want to see, because at the end of the day, the company man showed and proved. He did what he said he was going to do. He put you guys first. He said, oh, you want to switch it up on me? Keith ain't ready. It's Sebastian. No problem. Oh, you want to put Errol Spence in there and give him a fight? You want him a chance for the title? I'm not going to even cry and say, I need a rematch clause. Oh, you want to go ahead and put me on a card in Orlando with about 1,200 people inside the building with no music, with no production, and you want my company, the company that represents me, No Limit, to pay the lion's share of what this event's going to cost? No problem. I understand. You guys are in a rebuild phase. You're structuring a deal with Amazon Prime right now. You're trying to make this thing work. I'm going to help you do it. I'm going to represent like a company man. I'm down now on my knees. I'm down. Had one of the worst performances I ever had. What's up? What you got for me? What's the game plan? How do we get me back to where I would have been if I would have just told you guys to go kick rocks back when you tried to switch the fight up on me? You feel me?
Yep.
You feel me? I could have been somewhere else. I'm from Australia. I did not have to be in Vegas headlining a card with a 6'6" towering inferno hanging over my head with an 80-inch arm reach. I didn't have to do that.
And let's get our last words.
Yep.
No doubt, man. Salute. Hey, Edwin, good times. You know what I'm saying? Building, talking that ish.
It's always a pleasure, Clay and Blue. You know what I mean? I always like to chop up and talk boxing with some gentlemen that can have a decent conversation. We don't always have to agree. We don't have to but we can be respectful to one another and share our viewpoints. And that's what I think real boxing talk is all about, supporting and showing our contribution to this sport, and always remembering elevating the sport. Elevating the sport.
But see, this is the thing, right? This is the thing, right, Round? Is that when real always recognize real. So we know that we know the sport amongst each other. There's no need to show whose is bigger. Or
Right.
who
Oh,
knows
yeah.
more, right? We just enjoying having conversation. We can have a regular conversation.
Yep.
Right. These are the conversations that should be had but can't be had because too many trolls get interjected because of other people pushing narratives.
Yeah.
So then what happens is we get AK, I'm getting feedback. So what happens is that when we can have conversations, real conversations about the sport of boxing and actually talk about the sport of boxing. We could talk strategy, we can talk business, we can talk because we don't have a personal agenda to push in one single direction.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, and then we have gentlemen that actually understand, respect the sport, and want to elevate the sport, and want to see the best fighting the best.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to take down any specific fighter or trying to be negative towards a specific fighter. Those conversations come about, particularly here on this channel, on this platform, because you get people from other platforms that want to push a narrative and the supporters from other platforms, and they come here and they want to interrupt truth because they don't want to hear truth. So therefore, for most of the time, 70% of the time, we spend in the time arguing rather than having conversations like these where we could talk about the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
100% Blue. And it's really a lot of clout chasing because unfortunately, you know, I mean, it gets back into what it is. We've been conditioned in this community to believe that the crab in the barrel mentality is the easiest and fastest way to the top. And pulling down other content creators and discrediting them and builds up their credibility as far as they're concerned. That's how they look at it. They look at it if they can discredit you, destroy you, take away all your points and show everybody that they're the only ones, that they're fighting over a small niche fan base, and they don't look at it for what it really is, which is the damn internet, which trillion damn people, watching it every damn day.
Before I go, let me close this up. Final little thought from me here. If who you're calling and using words are the fighters at the top, you're calling them cherry picks, ducks, and all this stuff to the top fighters in the world. I could attach those words in one way or another to Terrence Crawford, Tank Davis, you name it. In one way or another, they've been called that. So if your standard that you're setting is for these men, who is above them? Who are you saying? Where is it that your standard of this man that you're projecting they should be? If the top guys is what you're saying this about. So watch how you're training yourself to believe things. These are the top fighters in the world. And YouTube got people so messed up in the way they think that they actually had a kid at a carnival working a Ferris wheel think that he can talk to the champion of the world like that because they got him thinking he's pillow fist. And they got a fan walking up on Devin Haney. And I'm glad it didn't turn out even uglier, but let's just say you try to really go smack Mike Tyson on some shit that you think that they done talked you up. You guys got to understand, and you're forgetting, that's a professional boxer. That is an athlete right there. He's really doing it. And you think because you're working a Ferris wheel, it's going to grant you the ability to talk shit to that man. Because you had a couple debates on a TV, a little YouTube channel. I think we're like really have a misconceived perception of what these really men are. Like I could just imagine somebody think to Francis Ngannou, you're not that guy, and I'm gonna tell you to your face. Good luck with that. Like the fans need to like a little bit like recognize these are the best men and women we have. This is what we're working with. This is what we got. And I damn one for sure am on a mission to fucking promote boxing until the day we get above golf on fucking ESPN.
Yep. And people wonder why boxing is not even top 10 sports. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and why the boxers also have become desensitized and disconnected from the fan base. They're no longer listen, bro. When you're not getting the fight you want to get, when they're not happening, what these boxers are saying to you guys is the hell with you guys. And I'm not saying it in a negative way like the boxers are being negative. What I'm saying is you guys have no respect for what these dudes do. And so they've gotten to the point where they don't care what you think anymore. They're no longer so concerned with giving you guys anything. You take what I give you, because I'm going to put every single thing on the list as a priority for myself before I even think about entertaining you. That's why Turkey's been able to come in and have the effect that he's had. And that's why, not for nothing, that's why you guys about to watch Tank fight Lamont Roach on December 14th, because I'm going to get mine. And you're going to watch it. And you're going to watch it, ain't you? I don't need to fucking challenge myself.
Right. Look, Tank Davis, right, goes through his career, right? And he was going through this era where I don't need belts, money, blah, blah, blah. We all know it. Speed things up. He put himself in a situation that I see that he's more serious in his career right now. And he couldn't take this speed bump. His reputation in his career couldn't take a speed bump. Well, I don't think this one was actually his fault. Had you set up the Shakur fight, guess what? He breaks his hand, right? Okay. Then in another sense, he was criticized for not fighting Black American fighters. He finally fights his first Black American fighter, and Frank, right? And they say, no, he wasn't good enough, right? So now that he's in a position to help out another American fighter, damn it, if the guys that don't want to fight me ain't fighting me, I'd rather put money in your pocket. And they're giving him shit for helping out another brother and probably putting $1 in his pocket. But Tank Davis, he can't do anything right. Listen, give it to a Russian. Put some money in his pocket. Put this money in a Chinese dude's pocket. Put some money in another. Look at the guys that were supposed to fight him, Loma, Shakur, Cepeda, all the guys at the top said no. So if you rather give a...
They didn't say no, fight, Edwin. They didn't say no. Stop it, brother.
They're not around?
What do you mean they're around? What are you talking about? How are they not around? Break this down for me, please.
Let's talk in the moment.
Okay.
Loma did put out a text saying his heart wasn't into it.
Yeah, Loma, okay.
Okay, stop right there. Cepeda put out a text he was having a baby.
That was to fight Shakur. But go ahead.
Oh, he wasn't there for Tank.
But Cepeda was never on the table.
Yeah, he was never on the table, but go ahead.
Okay. Shakur, hey, whoa. Shakur breaks his hand. That's reality.
No, but that's not that. He was already in
reality.
a fight. There was no offer sent to Shakur.
Wait. Okay. Prime knows out of that 6-fight deal, they're smart. I'm not giving you $200 million and you're calling all the shots. Eventually, you're gonna have to do what Prime says. All the Prime is doing with that 6-fight deal, all they're banking on is one fight. That's all they need. The Shakur fight. That'll make $1 billion in revenue. They'll get their money back. All right. So Prime knows what they're doing. So they're gonna get it. Okay. So the fighters that he didn't want or couldn't get, he didn't get. So if you're gonna give money or help out anybody, damn it, you've been scrutinized for not fighting your brothers. Well, you know what? Financially, I am the lottery fight now. I have turned myself into that. Brother, why don't you come up here? I'm gonna help you out. Right? And they give him shit.
Yeah, they give him shit because he turned on Edwin De Los Santos.
Fuck Edwin De Los Santos. He doesn't deserve a Tank Davis fight.
So why they call him?
Hold on. We got to keep it clean. We got to keep it clean.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
Why they call Edwin? Why they call him?
Yo. If he got Edwin De Los Santos between me and you, Clay, you know what they would have said? Oh, you fighting Shakur Stevenson after that Shakur Stevenson beat him with one hand? Who the hell is Edwin De Los Santos? Who the hell is he?
Why'd he call him? I don't know why they call him.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't deserve the Tank Davis sweepstakes.
They called him.
He was a reserve. He was an option. So what? We stepped away. We could do that in the sport of boxing.
And you pulled up a 130 pounder.
No.
Okay, I pulled up a 130 pounder.
Here's the thing, right? As far as competitive fights, right? Now we don't know what we're gonna get with Lamont Roach, but we can assure that we know Edwin De Los Santos from what he brings to the table, from what we have experience-wise, examples that he's a bigger guy, he's in his division, and it's a tough fight. That even Tank said was a tough fight, and Tank said was a competitive guy, right?
Yeah, but he needs to win some fights.
And here's the thing. Yeah, but
he don't deserve the Tank fight.
But neither does Lamont Roach then.
I know, but if I'm gonna give the money to anybody and help somebody out, at least I'm gonna help out one of my American guys.
Understood.
That's what my point is.
And I get that, but he should have did it with Shakur.
And sure, he broke his hand.
Yeah, but
no,
we can't do that.
No, on the 6-fight Pride deal, we don't shoot the Shakur fight in the early part.
Let me stop you, right? Because remember this: Artur Beterbiev tore his knee up.
Yeah.
And then he had to come back. We still got the Bivol fight. He tore his knee up remember that fight had to get rescheduled.
Yeah.
But the point is, Beterbiev signed to fight Bivol. We can't talk in hindsight. Hindsight, we didn't know that Shakur was going to injure his hand.
No, we didn't. But I'm glad they didn't schedule it, because had he got that fight scheduled and broke his hand, they would have said, how the fuck did Shakur Stevenson break his hand on a body shot? They would have made so many videos of slow punching that shot and said, look, he's faking it. Had they scheduled that fight, Shakur Stevenson gets scrutinized for pulling out for a broken hand. I'm so glad they didn't schedule it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? The thing is, they could sign the fight in March, and the same thing could happen. They could sign the fight in December, and the same thing could happen. So that is a way. That is an excuse to not fight the best. Period. Because you had the option to fight the absolute best. I get what you're saying about you keeping it in the American pocket and so on and so forth. But you had the opportunity in a position of power to fight the best, and he didn't do it.
Right.
He chose the path of least resistance, which is a choice.
Right.
Right. That everybody don't have that choice because they don't have that power.
Okay. Me and you were sitting down, Blue.
Right.
You're Tank Davis. I'm Calvin Ford. You're sitting down. I'm saying to you, Tank, we got one fight out the deal. We got 5 more to go. You want to do this Shakur one right now? And he's like, why are you in a rush to take it? You know that you're going to have to eventually fight him within these next 5 fights, right? Tank's like, okay, what do you want to do? He goes, if you give him the Tank fight, who do you got left? If Loma leaves or retires, all you got is Belichick. Once you get that Shakur fight out the way, Tank, they're going to be calling all your next fighters ducks. Okay, so what's the passive leave resistance? Why don't we take a couple of these fights, build the trash talking, let the moment build up a little bit more, spice things up, and we'll get the fight here, right here. I'll take the fight in this number of fights, and the last 2, I'll end the deal with Prime, pocket $200 million. Let's ride it off into the sunset. But if you give me the Shakur fight in the first 2 fights of that Prime deal, what do you got left?
But here's the thing. Here's the problem with that.
Okay, I'm just,
No, and I get what you're saying, right?
And I get what you're saying too, but go ahead, Blue, because I definitely understand what you're saying, but go ahead, Blue.
Right. But here's the problem. Here's where the problem lies with that, right? Then are we putting Shakur Stevenson on a higher pedestal than they have him? Because they are claiming that he's not a draw. So if we saving him for last, saving the best for last, because business-wise, who are we going to say he's going to fight next?
Have you ever told a lie, Blue?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, then.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Okay.
That's so, and I'm glad you said that, right? So then we can't say people is giving him flack because he told a lie. If you tell a lie, if I tell a lie to you guys, and
then
you guys
held accountable,
and you got hold me accountable, it's not giving me flack. You just holding me accountable. Right? If my kids tell me a lie and I punish them, it's not me giving them flack, it's me holding them accountable because you told a lie. So that means that they telling us lies. Now get this, right, Edwin? We got to take this into account because we are the consumer.
Correct.
As the consumer, if you lie to me as the consumer, I got the right to sue you. Right? Now, I'm just hypothetically speaking, right?
At least voice my opinion.
Right. So you get the opportunity to say, hey, bro, you told me it was going to be X, Y, and Z, and it's not that.
Right.
So now it's false advertisement.
Absolutely. At its
Right.
finest.
And as a so now think about this. You got people that are paying thousands of dollars that work 9 to 5s to come watch you fight, and you selling me a pipe dream. You're telling me this is filet mignon when it's actually salmon. You just dressed it up nice.
Well. I'm not gonna say he told it was filet mignon because you saw what was on the menu before you bought your ticket.
But yeah, you're right. But you're telling me when I say that, you're telling me that you are the best.
Yes.
And but you're not putting your best foot forward to actually show that you're the best.
Well,
I can't say in another sport. We all know other sports. Jerry Rice say I'm the best wide receiver ever. Well, he went up against Deion Sanders. He went up against Rod Woodson. He went up against Aeneas Williams. He went up against Eric Allen, all the best corners of his era, and gave them that work.
You see,
but if I'm Jerry Rice and I'm going up against the no names and I'm waving saying, "Hey, I'm the best over here," well, no, now you're a fraud.
Well, and your in comparison is NFL runs on a schedule and they can't say no. So that matchup was going to play out that day regardless. In boxing, where you give two guys the opportunity to say no, it's much harder to schedule a fight. When you're giving the other guy the option to say no. You know,
right.
I can always want the fight, but it takes two to tango in boxing. And since boxing doesn't run on a schedule, well, Miami or the 49ers, guess what? They were going to play on Sunday regardless.
But it gives but what happens is
I get it.
It gives you see, you got a guy in the chat right now by the name of Fresh Baker who's just pom shaking. Right? And these are the things that annoy me as a person that loves the sport, because I love the sport. I'm not a fan of a fighter. I'm a fan of the sport first,
right,
and then fans of fighters because they come along with the sport. But you see, it gives voices to people like that are not truly fans of the sport of boxing, right? To go around and push false narratives that you can't do in other sports because they don't allow you to do that.
Right.
The sport of boxing, like we just said, we got to stand up for the sport of boxing to be in a better place. And the only way to do that is to get the best fighting the best on it as much. Now, we know that the sport is very top heavy. So it's almost nearly impossible to night in and night out get the absolute best versus the best because it's top heavy. But when you have the option to give us the best versus the best and you're choosing not to, that's when it hurts the sport of boxing.
I think if the sport of boxing ran on a better schedule where that the fans can see year round consistent fights, like slots being put in matches right there, and that these fighters have to meet their schedule. And then when you have a schedule or boxing events consistently going around, now we can check in on the sport because last week so-and-so fought for a belt. This week, so-and-so fought for a belt.
Hold that thought right there, right? Because these are the things that annoy me. I'm sorry to cut you off. Fresh Baker, show me one top fighter. This dude is 30 years old with 30 fights. Show me a pound-for-pound fighter that he fought in his career. Give me a pound-for-pound fighter that Tank Davis has fought in his career at 30 years old with 30 fights. He's never unified the belts. He's in a position of power, and he's never even fought a guy that's top 10 in a pound-for-pound.
It's a fact. It's a fact, man. And that's what it comes down to.
Around talking about, well, he's being treated misfair. He ain't being treated misfair.
No, you're right.
He's being held to the standard that he's in. He's being held to a standard. That's what we have to understand. He's a face of boxing.
We're holding him to a standard. We're holding him to a standard.
When we're doing that, he's being held to a standard.
We haven't seen it. We're saying he's this good. He just never proved he's this good.
Shakur fought Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez at the time was top 10 pound for pound. Devin Haney fought Lomachenko. who was top 10 pound for pound. Tszyu fought Lomachenko and the champion Richard Coleman and unified the belts. They all
100%.
younger than 10.
Talk to him.
All younger than that man.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him, bro.
With that nonsense. Show me a
Talk
fighter.
to him.
Errol Spence fought the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, Monster Inoue, Steve Fulton. He did it multiple times. Steve Fulton fought.
Look what this
Inoue.
man put in there. He never
He
fought no
fought.
competition. Did you not hear pound for
Right.
pound? Did you not hear unify? Did you not hear unify?
Schoolboy Steph. He fought Inoue. He fought Figueroa.
Yeah.
You heard, you know it, Bijan.
Please show me when Tank did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please show me when Tank did it.
He's 30 years old and he finally got a 2 division just now.
And never
Just
unified
recently.
the belts.
Just recently. Less than a
Come on.
few months ago. So unless he fought that fight with Frank the Ghost Martin, he goes down as a 1 belt holder, 1 division.
And here's the thing, right? So, and I understand exactly what you're saying, right, Ed? So my thing is this: when you're in a position of power, I gotta hold you accountable.
You,
And
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
It's a
so
standard.
you gotta give me when, and then on top of that, right, Edwin? You told me, you told Edwin, you told Clay, you told AK that you got a hit list. We didn't ask you to tell us that.
Right.
You volunteered that information. Oh, I'm knocking him out. I'm knocking him out. I'm knocking him out. I'm knocking him out. I got a list.
And when we hold these fighters accountable, now we're the assholes.
Right.
Oh yeah. Every time.
What are you saying? Teofimo Lopez on the list? Nah. And I give him credit. Lomachenko was on the list, and he tried to pursue the Lomachenko fight.
Facts.
And I give him 1,000% credit. And we hold Lomachenko accountable for doing a bow face. Turning around saying, I'm not in the mood. You ain't in the mood. This combat sports. What you mean?
Yep.
So now you turn around and we gave Lomachenko flack. I've been giving Lomachenko and Canelo flack all this time. I don't never see Fresh Baker in here defending Lomachenko. I ain't never seen you come here talking about, hey, give Lomachenko some leadway. Ease up on him. Crabs in a barrel. I ain't never seen you say that.
That's a fact.
I ain't never seen you come here talking about, hey, man, ease back off Canelo. Don't give Canelo Alvarez that much flack. No. Fresh Baker, I ain't see you come here one time when we was just talking about Canelo fighting Berlanga. When everybody had their panties in a bunch, talking about, man, why you cherry picking Berlanga instead of fighting Benavidez? We was on his helmet. Holding him accountable. I ain't never seen Fresh Baker come here and say, hey, bro, ease back. Canelo don't deserve that. Like I said, you are a fan of a fighter and not the sport. Because if you was a fan of the sport and you would hold across the board, you would be here defending Canelo. You would have been here defending Lomachenko. If you truly believe that what you're saying, you would have been defending them. Since you come here talking about, hey, I'm a fan of the sport, then you would have been here defending them when I said the same thing. And get this, I said the same thing about them, and they actually fought pound for pound fighters. Canelo, believe it or not, he's just not giving us one fight. It's just one fight, and it's just the Benavidez fight that we demanded. The dude has given us in every division. He has fought at least 2 guys in his division, at least every division. In 54, he fought Austin Trout and Arislandi Lara. At 60, he fought Triple G and Danny Jacobs. At 68, he fought Caleb Plant. He fought Caleb Smith.
Yep.
He fought Billy Joe Saunders. The only guy there was Benavidez. At 75, he fought Sergey Kovalev and Bivol.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw.
Facts.
When did Tank do that?
Only thing I've ever asked is for Canelo to vacate those belts. I say it's all good for him to move the way he want to move, vacate those belts. That's it. We're talking, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're talking just accountability, bro. It's fair.
There you go.
There
you go. Accountability with Tank Davis.
That's
you know,
it.
he was young. He was young in his career. Floyd and them, you know, look, man, whether or not they secured him the fights and that he needed to or whatever, he sure the hell wasn't. And out of his own words, belts don't matter. You see that fighters mature in the sport. Their opinions start to change. And I'm in the agreement with, you know what, as fans, we have the right to call him out on what he did. Yes, I see he's turning it around. Yes, he has a new invigorating spirit for boxing, and I could see that in the Frank the Ghost Martin fight. You could see it in his eyes. He was having more fun. He was more alive, and I could see it. But you know what they say, your past comes back and bites you in your ass. And we cannot avoid the things that you did or did not do. And then if you walk into the Hall of Fame, you want credit, but please, sir, leave that big bag of money, because that has nothing to do with accolades in this building.
Right.
What did you do? Where are your belts, young man?
Right. And this is the thing, right? If you don't proclaim yourself, I don't got a problem with it. You are who you are.
Go. There you go. Showing accountability on what you said.
Right. But you pointing out fighters and then downplaying other fighters. Devin Haney, y'all want to talk about Devin Haney? He been trying to see, this is something you guys don't know.
Who's trying to ruin
Robert D, please stop with the nonsense.
Yeah, come on, man. That is just, I'm sorry, yo.
This is why the sport is in a terrible place, man. Who the hell said he couldn't make a living? Who said that?
Ridiculous. What are we how are we ruining him? We're pushing him. We're pushing him. We're holding him to a standard.
Let me ask you a question, Barbara D. Since this is what you said. See, this is what you said. See,
young man.
Those other platforms will allow you to do this nonsense. I don't let you get away with it. I deal in truth. You said Tank earned the right to make a living just like you all. No one's trying to ruin you. Oh, let me ask you a question, Barbara. Let me ask you a question.
Here we go.
He ain't going to feed his family better fighting Shakur Stevenson than Lamont Roach. When he going to put more food on his table with Shakur or Devin than Lamont Roach, right? So we actually asking them to put more food on their table.
We don't want ramen noodle soups, Dad.
So who said that he can't make a living?
That's nonsense. That's an extreme narrative driven. I mean, if that's what it is, then
if you don't like it, Bijan, if you don't like it, go elsewhere. I respect all the queens, and Barbara know I respect her.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a fact.
I respect Barbara D to the fullest.
But she's a big girl.
And y'all know this. I got a wife. I got 5 sisters. I got 4 daughters. So I respect the queens to the fullest. But guess what? I'm going to tell my wife the truth. I'm going to tell my sister the truth. And I'm going to tell my daughters the truth.
That's
Amen.
it. That's it. It's just the truth. It's nothing personal. It's just keeping it 100 and holding Tank Davis to a standard that you guys all acknowledge he's in the space that he's in. He is the face of boxing. One of the faces of boxing. There's nothing wrong with holding him to it. Nobody's saying he's a hype job. You know what disrespect is? Tank ain't even that nice. Tank is a hype job. He can't box.
Right.
Let me tell you something. You said, how would I like it if Tank was my son and people were doing this to your son? If my son making millions of dollars and lying to the people that he making the millions of dollars off of, I'm going to tell my son, stop lying to them people. See, that's the difference between me and everybody else.
Yeah, and I tell him, you signed up for this. This is what you doing, son. You making millions, ain't you? You're a boxer. You're a fighter, ain't you? This is what you signed up for. Shut off the social media if it's bothering you, bro.
And he's taking money from me.
Yeah.
He taking money from Edwin. He taking money from Clay, and he taking money from AK. He taking money
from you.
Kids' table.
Yeah.
What you mean?
No, we holding him to boxing. We holding him to
Right.
boxing accountability. We're not talking about his personal life.
Right.
We're not talking.
Happens.
Yeah,
this is what happens. And this is the thing. Right, Karma?
We just talking about boxing. It's just like a basketball player. It's just like a ball player. You talking basketball. Yo, you know what I'm saying? He ain't carrying it a certain way. Blue, he wants you to move the sign because you're blocking his face a little bit if you want to. But it's just sports, bro. It's just boxing. It gets too personal when, you guys are trying to ruin him. That's nonsense.
Right. When you tell me, here's the thing, right? When you come in, you say, I'm trying to ruin him. That's a whole different thing because you have a personal attachment to him. But when you come in, you tell me I'm trying to ruin a young man that I got kids older than, that's a difference. That's a different type of, don't put that jacket on me. I'm not trying to ruin that young man.
That narrative is tired.
I got multiple kids that's older than Tate.
I think that Blue has never said or questioned his skills in the ring, but so trying to ruin him in that sense, that's not what he's doing. He's calling them on the hit list, and he's calling them on the actual things that came out of his mouth. That's what he's addressing. And when are we going to get these fights? Because, look, it's true. We never got the fights at 135. We never got the fights at 135. We didn't get them there. I mean, and everybody seemed to move up. So now what?
Yo, Barbara D, you sound like, you know what I mean, a really nice lady. Like you have like auntie, grandma type energy. Like I'm really feeling you. Like that last statement you just put down, she said ridiculous. Just leave him alone. Leave the man alone. He's not bothering you. Like I hear your heart. You know, I had a pastor once tell me that, right? I told him about a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do. And he said, son, I hear your heart. And what he was basically saying is I get your intention. And I don't want you to feel that we're attacking this man unjustly and we're like throwing rocks and we're breaking up. That's not what we're doing. We're holding him. We're honoring him in many ways by saying, you're better than this. You're greater than this. There's destiny. There's legacy. There's history in the making. There's Hall of Fame fights in these fights that you can win. These fights that you probably will win in your own right. You have no reason not to be confident you won't win these fights, but they're legacy fights. They're fights that we as boxing fans will not stand for not having. We're going to push back. We're going to ask. You said you was going to come for ninjas. You said you had a list of people that you were going to fight, and we're looking for you to accomplish at least most of that list. And when we see an opportunity to make a fight and you pass on it, it's going to get pushed back. You know it just as well as I know it. It's part of the game. But look, the algorithm is buzzing. Your name is in the air, and that's why you are who you are. Because believe it or not, us sitting here talking about this as negative, positive, however you want to look at it, it's helping Gervonta Tank Davis in the long run. Just like those channels, to the people that are in the building that spend 90% of their thumbnails and their coverage and their content breaking down a Devin Haney or breaking down a Shakur Stevenson. Nobody's in there crying, saying, leave him alone, you're ruining him. Nobody's saying that.
Right? But that's the thing, right? This is two things real quick. This is why it's important that men are in households, because the mom and the nurturing, the women and the nurturing, leave him alone. He ain't do nothing. Can't hold the boys accountable. And second thing is, Barbara, when you see these other channels, because I see you on these other platforms, when they're going in about Devin Haney, how come you're not talking about why you don't go over there and tell them they should be leaving Devin Haney alone?
Telling you.
Who's younger than Tank.
Right.
And trying to make a living.
Just like Tank.
Disrespect nobody. So how come you don't go to those platforms and say, they trying to ruin Devin Haney? Leave that young man alone. He earned the right. Devin Haney ain't earned the right. Because I see you on all these other platforms.
Oh yeah, come on.
But man, I don't see you wanting to coddle Devin Haney. Why
be
not?
Honest about it.
Why not?
Be honest.
Barbara, you came in my chat talking about Oh, I don't do that to Devin Haney. Devin Haney, you did that. So if it's about him being a young man and earning a living, that should be across the board. So
let's talk
why
about
don't
it.
you do that with Devin Haney? See, Irvin Wood said, because Devin is soft. Go sit at the kiddie table.
Yeah. Getting away the conversation.
Man, we almost left in this episode. We almost left without sending somebody to the kiddie table. But this guy had to mess it up and got himself sent to the kiddie table. You know what I mean?
Yup. Get him a juice box.
You go sit at the kiddie table.
Get him a pack of fruit snacks. Get him a pack of fruit snacks.
Fresh Baker, go sit at the kiddie table. Go join your boy. See, this is what I'm talking about. They always will reveal themselves as non-boxing fans. Every single time. Yeah. Every single time. Well, Devin Haney is soft. What that got to do with what we talking about?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And show me somebody soft that took the punishment he took against Ryan Garcia and kept getting up. Because I guess Tszyu is soft, huh? Because I ain't never seen you say Tszyu was soft.
Mm.
And they talk about us or you being biased.
Right. I'm only biased when it's against who they love. Yeah, King Grayson, he don't even deserve a juice pack or nothing. Just go stand in the corner.
Damn, you're not giving him a juice box?
No Lunchables, no juice pack, no nothing.
The juice box.
Yo, Edwin, it's that damn sugar that got him in the damn trouble he's in right now. It's the damn sugar already.
Right.
It's the damn sugar that got him.
It's ridiculous. You can always identify non-boxing fans. Because if you're truly a boxing fan, then you would feel like this across the board. But you don't. Like I just said, they don't come here defending Canelo. Let me ask y'all a question. Who's earning more, Canelo or Tank?
That's not fair.
No,
that's not fair. Because
I'm saying, based off of what Barbara said, Tank Davis earned the right. Who's earning more, Canelo or Tank, right? Canelo, right? But I ain't never seen him come in.
No. Tank right now is making more right now, but Canelo can literally snap his finger and say David the Monster Benavidez and rock everybody's numbers.
Right.
So
but this is what I'm saying.
I mean, he's the type of man that, he's not really making all that money on his last fights or selling out or, the money he should be, but any time.
But this is what I'm saying, though. I ain't never seen Barbara D. Clay, how many times, Ed, AK, how many times I go in on Canelo?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen her come here talking about stop going in on Canelo. You trying to ruin that young man. You know he only 4 years older than Tank, right? So if Tank a young man ain't Canelo, since I'm trying to ruin that young man, so am I trying to ruin the young man in Canelo? Who earned it more?
Are you picking and choosing who you coming to? Are you just a fan of boxing? Or are you a fan of one person in boxing then?
Exactly. Like I said, they're not.
And you know the answer to that question, Edwin. You know the answer to that question.
Devin Haney soft. And that's Devin Haney got up. You watch Devin Haney, who's younger. He's the youngest undisputed champion in history. You watched him get up. The difference. When he fought Ryan didn't have no weight rehydration clause. He came in 3.5 pounds overweight. Tank put him on a rehydration clause. He fought him at 140. Tank made him drain down to 136. He was on PEDs. Proven. He came in clean against Tank. Devin did not get up. Devin got up. Devin got a mama. Devin got sisters. He got a father. He got family. He don't deserve it. He kept getting up, though. He did not get up, just like Tszyu. He made it to the 12th round. But Devin Haney is soft. But he's fighting, though. He been calling out Lomachenko for years. Lomachenko been calling out Tank for years. There's a difference. Devin been chasing Loma. Loma been chasing Tank.
It's a fact.
Y'all be tripping.
Yo, listen, Blue. You know what, man? For as much as I love Tank Davis and I would love to come to his defense right now, I'm not going to even come to it because of the fact of these points. I understand and I see the potential in the young man, but I'm tired of putting the cart before the horse. Give him the credit as a man that fought all these world title fights and they put him on the same pedestal of the men and women that achieve such greatness. Okay, he makes a good dollar amount. That I don't argue. But what Blue's talking about is where are your belts and what have you done for the sport? Now, he is a big name. He does back a big punch, but I am in agreement. When we keep saying, yo, he's this, he's that. But where is the other guy on the other side of the ring that meets the bell, that is equal in match, so that we can definitely say, I told you so. We knew he had this in him, this fight. But here he is entering 30 years old, and we've yet to see the fight. When Blue is tired of it and the Tank fiasco of the smokescreen of fighting all these other fighters, but it always seems to be the same storyline. This guy doesn't want to fight me. So when you say and you bring out your facts, name me one pound for pound fighter he fought. Name me the guys in his weight division that were worthy, that were also on his level. When did he ever actually take off the training wheels and stop fighting those guys? And
Right.
when in his career did he started fighting the best? If we want to consider him the best and to wear the crown, if you're going to be the king, well, you got to do some king shit.
They're gonna tell
you can't get the recognition and the credibility as walking around as being him when you've done virtually nothing. Right now, with 2 weight divisions, I'm not sure he goes into the Hall of Fame. Not with that.
Right. So, but this is what they're gonna tell you. He earned.
So when you hear the passion from Blue calling him out on his shit, then I see, because we're tired of seeing these lower name guys. You now, and I told you, and I said this in the very early. If you rewind this and you see it, I said it. Tank's career couldn't take a speed bump.
Facts.
It couldn't. Even though he's more focused right now and everything, it's gonna make him look bad because we're tired of it. We're tired of saying we know he's that guy, right? But in the argument in the barbershop, you got this freaking guy turning around on you and saying, well, then name me, who'd he beat? What'd he do? He wore that interim belt for how long? How many title interim defenses did he make? What was he doing?
Right.
So, yes, remarkable talent. I'm in agreement. Calling him out on his own shit, I feel Blue on it. It's not attacking him. It's not attacking his boxing ability or his character. It's just calling him out on, yo, it's about time, Papa. You need to start getting these fights. And that's it.
That's it, Edwin, 100%. That's it. We ain't talking about his ugly feet, or we ain't talking about his kids, or we ain't talking about his breath stink, or we ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying, how he's short or he's whack. No, that's ridiculous. Or even worse, more worse than anything we could be saying, questioning his skills as a boxer. We know who he is. The mere fact that we're so passionate about this conversation is an acknowledgement of this man's excellent pedigree. We know who he is off the eye test. We want to see it. We know more than a lot of his fans, to the point to where we know what kind of fight we're going to see when we see him standing in front of Shakur, when we see him standing in front of Devin, or even Teofimo, or any of these fighters. We know the kind of shit we about to see. We about to see history. We about to see legacy. Man, we live for this, bro. The era of boxing that we from, we live for this. We live for this, man. Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev was a fight that people been looking for forever. We understood what was going to happen in that fight. That's why, as boring as people want to say that fight was to real boxing fans, that wasn't no boring fight. That was a cerebral, complex fight. Cerebral. to understand how this man's boxing ability was going to be able to overwhelm this man's fighting ability, mixed with his boxing ability and his power. We saw what we knew we was going to see. That's why there wasn't no robbery in that fight. Nobody was expecting Arturo Better to be able to run over Bivol or vice versa. Bivol just completely outclassed. We knew it was going to be a competitive fight. When this fight happens with Tank and Shakur Stevenson, real boxing fans will sit there and know what we're looking for. And we know why we want to see that fight. Shout out to Lamont Roach. Excellent fighter. Great 130-pound champion. Can't wait to see him chase unifying those belts at 130. I want to see him in there with O'Shaquie. I want to see him up in there with Emmanuel Navarrete. I want to see him do great things at 130. He just wasn't on the list, bro. He wasn't who we were looking for. And that's why the space is going to push back at it. But you know what? My dumb boxing fan ass is going to sit there and watch Tank Davis probably knock this dude out on December 14th because I'm a real boxing fan. I'm going to watch it. But it doesn't mean I can't push back at it, that I can't push back at it and be like, that's not what I wanted. I'm a fan paying. I'm a paying fan. I could push back at it and not be a damn hater of Tank Davis. I could push back at it and not only not be a hater of Tank Davis, I could push back at it and be a damn fan of Tank Davis. Straight like that.
Let me ask you guys a question. This is funny, right? We all talk about this Lamont Roach and Tank Davis fight.
Hey, hold that thought 1 second. Let me get the super chats off. Salute to the Queen.
Can you get this out of the way a little?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get them off. Salute to the Queen Kiki in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. Blessings, my beloveds. As always, great content. Appreciate you, Queen. Ray Davis, my brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. Blue Clay Edwin, what is happening is we all, as fans, want to see Tank fight the best, not settling for fights nobody wants and accept 130-pound fighter. Right. Hold on, we got it. But holding them accountable is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Man, I'm a 49er fan. I hold the 49ers accountable. Cal Shanahan accountable. I don't care what you tell me. Warrior Class, the third brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on us in the super chat. Salute Blue and Claymore. Remember, the Boston sanction bodies created this monster Canelo by elevating him to super champion status, allowing him to skip mandatory opponents. Loma got away with it too. Right. It's funny, right? They got all this smoke and energy for Devin Haney, right? But he's trying to fight the absolute best. That's a problem. Him trying to fight the best and be the best. That's a problem. But a fighter not doing it, they okay with that. It's amazing. Rude exposure, brother in the super chat. He said if you don't snip this segment, I will 100. Salute. You can do what you want with it, great brother. Charles Edward Cheese, my brother, back in the building, back in the super chat, dropping another hundo. He said, let's go. Y'all, let's keep the color over Edwin's face. Flex on him. Hey, man. Hey, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Blue, I want half that hundo, okay?
He's like, my face motivated that hundo. My face.
Hey, man. Hey, we just want to see the best fight the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of don't. Y'all okay with? I'm not okay with pissing on my leg and telling me it's raining. No.
Yeah.
No, I know what it is.
You have the right. You have that right.
Let's get on out of here, man. My wife's asking me when I'm coming.
Yeah, man. Yo, Blue, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on as a guest. Yo, Claymore. Yo, AK. I didn't really hear much from you. Yo, AK. You talk a lot. You don't let none of us get a word in. You know what I mean?
I'm security.
Hey, yo, Blue, man, it's always been a pleasure. Please, fans, don't forget to give this video a like, and this is where you get your boxing news.
Yes, sir. Salute
to everybody in the building, man. I appreciate you guys, man. This was another good one, Blue. This was another good one, man. And I don't want to hold it up because I know your wife is on you. AK, can you hit the mute right quick? You got something going on. Thank you, man. This is what it's all about, bro. You know what I'm saying? Disagreeing, agreeing, however you want to look at it. This is what real boxing conversation looks like. Edwin wasn't on the same page with us with some of the points, and he was on page with us on the other points, and vice versa. I had a great time. This is what it's supposed to feel like. This is what it's supposed to look like. Boxing is fun. I used to do this all the time with my cousins and everything. We were watching fights. Ain't none of us was sending the addies and looking to, fight out in the parking lot with no damn boxing. This is what it's supposed to look like, man. This is what disagreement looks like. This is what pushes boxing and gets it to where it needs to be. Instead of our community always hating and chopping each other down and turning everything into a personal thing, man, bro, let's have a good time, man. It's good times in these conversations. They don't always got to be debates. They could be good, heated, passionate conversations.
Conversations.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Edwin started this, right? Edwin, we was on the way out. We was on the way out.
Shit.
We was doing good. And here come Edwin with the
Got it popping.
I'm like, hold up. I can't let this go. Bro, I'm like, I can't let this go. What are you talking about?
Hey, Craig pushing back.
I'm like,
hey, listen,
hold up, man. What are you talking about?
Hey, fact. But nah, man, it was a great time, man.
No
doubt.
doubt.
You guys have been the
And
best.
to the Queen Barbara D, I still love you, Queen. And I still
nothing but love.
There's nothing but love and nothing but respect.
That's a fact.
Nothing but love and nothing but respect. And nothing but respect. You have a personal attachment to Tank Davis. I don't share. I am a fan of the sport of boxing. I'm not a fan of a fighter. No, that's a lie. I am a fan of fighters. Second,
right.
I'm a fan of, who gets my vote is when a fighter is trying to fight the best. See, people ask me about Devin Haney. Let me say this real quick. From the moment Devin Haney came out the womb, he was trying to fight Robert Easter, Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner, when they was champions in his division. Y'all don't remember that. He was pushing for those fights.
Big facts. That's the truth.
Whether he was ready or not, he was pushing for the Lomachenko fight. Robert Easter, Mikey Garcia, man, he ain't ready. Go back and check the receipts. He been pushing for all these fights. And his track record says he'll fight him. Shakur Stevenson was chasing Oscar. He chased that man 2 divisions to get that fight.
Yep.
He chased Oscar Valdez 2 divisions to get that fight. Ain't doing nothing easy. Teofimo Lopez, Clay, he fought Lomachenko and Richard Comey with 15 fights.
Facts.
At 23.
That's a fact.
You can say what you want about Teofimo Lopez.
That's why I always respect Teo. Even no matter what, I always respect Teo when it comes to this boxing space. I always tell people he's a special fighter, bro. I always do it. And he be on some monkey nonsense, bro. But when it comes to this boxing, I'm gonna keep it 100. He steps up to his competition. When it comes time for the biggest shows, he steps up and he gives you that fight. He's a talented fighter, bro. He's done great things. Period.
Texas 13 fights, excuse me. He only had 13 fights. At 22 and 23 years old, right? Then, because these are the fights they talk about. Well, Canelo was pushing for at 23. AK Clay, at 23. You know who Canelo fought? Floyd Mayweather, Aristotle Lara, and Austin Trout. At 23 years old.
Straight up.
Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence went to the UK. He been pushing for the Kell Brook fight for years. Kell Brook was trying to duck him. 100%. He went to the UK, took that belt. What the first thing he did, Clay? What the first thing he did, AK? I want Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was considered the best fighter in the welterweight division. He said, give me Keith Thurman. He chased Keith Thurman down to the point it got uncomfortable.
That's a fact.
Keith Thurman wasn't trying to fight.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
Went and got surgery on his elbow.
These dudes been chasing these dudes down.
Yep.
David Benavidez been chasing Canelo down. Caleb Plant, Ronald Graville. he's younger than Tank, bro. People don't even realize Benavidez just turned 27.
Facts.
Look at his last 3 fights. Andre, Caleb Plant, now David Morrell, Alexander Gosdick, and trying to be the mandatory for either Canelo or Benavidez before.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Who is Tank chasing down? Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner, Robert Easter, Orlando Salido. Then he said, I did all I can here. He said, give me Lomachenko. Bob Arum said no, because they had the dispute. He said, okay, I'm leaving. I'm going to fight Errol Spence. I'm fighting Errol Spence then.
Facts.
Lomachenko came out the gate. Orlando Salido, Gary Russell, Guillermo Rigondeaux. In 8 fights.
Scott Miller, you whack for that, bro. It's just it is what it is, bro.
Y'all sound ridiculous, man.
He's chasing Joe Courtney. Boy. Like I said, that's why these fighters don't got no respect for y'all, bro. The fighters don't concern themselves with you guys at all.
Look who Floyd was chasing down. See, that game, that works with people that don't know the sport. Y'all talking to people that know the sport. That's where the difference lies. That's where the difference lies.
That's a fact.
Terrence Crawford took a fight with Brennan Prescott on short notice and was the underdog, and they told Terrence Crawford, Bob Arum told him, if you lose, you in trouble, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tim Bradley was trying to get Terrence Crawford to deal with Top Rank. He wasn't even signed.
Facts.
Terrence Crawford fights Israel Madrimov, then trying to fight Canelo. But y'all got your pom-poms out, happy to talk about, well, no, take the face. He ain't never unified the belts, ain't never fought nobody in top 10 pound for pound, ain't trying to do nothing, ain't trying to force these fights.
All true.
All truth, bro. All truth.
Look at Nonito Donaire. Look at the people Nonito Donaire for. I mean, come on. Anyway. He going division to division. Give me the best guy here. Give me the best guy here. Steve Fulton, this guy, that guy.
100%.
But we put them in the same category as them. How?
And they feeding their families. And they feeding their families at the same time.
And everybody feeding it. Who's not eating? They all eating.
This ain't got nothing to do with eating, man. Everybody eating.
Even Clay, even Keith Thurman.
100%.
Keith Thurman for Sean Porter, Danny Garcia.
Sean Porter.
That's what I said. He came off a two-year layoff, Keith Thurman did, Clay.
Mm-hmm.
And got in the ring. He was negotiating with Terrence Crawford, then got in the ring with Manny Pacquiao.
100%. 100%.
You can't make this stuff up.
No, sir. No, sir.
Sean Porter. He done fought Keith Thurman, Terrence Crawford, Kell Brook, Errol Spence. Are you kidding me?
Everybody. And I'm good.
Man, it's weird behavior, man.
He's still talking about me?
It's weird behavior. It's weird behavior, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes all fight people. Yet we put him above them. How?
100%. 100%. If you can't look at everything that Blue just said and understand the energy, then you just ain't no fan of boxing. You don't understand what the game is all about. If you don't see what the conversation that we put in Tank in, the conversation, what we expect from him, the conversation that we putting him in, you guys just ain't a fan of boxing. If you don't understand it and can't see clear as day what we want this man to do, what we know this man can do. But with fans like y'all, why does he need to do it?
Right. It's just weird. And then they quick to talk about, Devin Haney. Devin Haney, he tried to fight Robbie. Y'all probably don't even know who Robbie Easter is. He tried to fight Robbie Easter. Go look at the receipts. Lomachenko, they was trying to son him, AK. Nah, you too young. Get out of here, youngster. You ain't ready, youngster.
Yeah.
That's what this is about, man. That's why I'm about to cuss. That's why I mess with this platform, bro. That's what this is about, bro. This is about boxing greatness, bro. This ain't about just pushing every single day, pushing a narrative for one damn fighter. This is about greatness, bro. You hear us talking about Tank, but you don't know that everything that Blue listed, that's what we talking about. That's what the energy is about. That's what we talking about. You want us to acknowledge this man as one of the greats, as a face of boxing. But when we bring down this list of fighters and every fighter that they fought and all the great things they accomplished, then you don't realize what you're asking for. A wise man once said, be careful what you wish for. You understand what I'm saying? Be careful what you wish for, because you want him to be in that conversation where here's what comes with it. Expectations, accountability.
Right.
There's boxes that need to be checked. It ain't just because we like what he does and we like he's a face of boxing because he's out here knocking people out and he's an exciting fighter. That's great. That's what got us to this point. Now we ready to go to the next level. Y'all ready to go there? What's it going to take to get him to the next level? It's going to take conversations like this. It's going to take fans like us to push it for the next conversation to happen. It's time for the next level. That's what this is all about. Because if it was up to you guys, what does he need to do it for? Be honest. What does he even need to fight the best for? He's already made it with you guys. You ready for him to retire right now and throw him in the Hall of Fame? He ain't got to do not a damn thing. He done did everything he's supposed to do, huh? And then when we ask him to do it,
this is the thing that got me. I'm trying to ruin him because I'm holding him accountable. Hey, bro, and if this was my son, if this was my sons, all 5 of my sons come on here right now, they'll tell you that's who he is in real life.
Word.
I tell my sons right now, hey, bro, get up off your shoulders. You out here, you tripping.
Yup.
My sons know I'll go to these with them.
Where that boy at? I feel like calling that boy.
Because guess what? I tell their mama, mind your business when I'm talking to my sons. Because you can't teach them how to be a man. So when you come here talking about if that was my son, if that was my son, things would be a lot different. You ain't never seen my son dancing on cameras with no shirt on in the car. That's facts.
Talk about it.
When you want to take it to personal situations.
Talk about it.
All I'm asking for is this dude to fight the best. And y'all trying to make it something that it's not.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It is. It really is. Like, it really is ridiculous. It really is like that. It's that ridiculous that y'all so like you can't. It's like, where are your critical thinking skills? How in the world is us sitting here talking about boxing, talking about Tank Davis in the biggest fights that they can be made out there, knocking that man? In what way is that? How can we knock that man, saying we think that man needs to fight the best of the best? Us saying that Lamont Roach ain't on his level. That's not a compliment to Tank. That's messed up. Lamont's a great fighter. What's wrong with y'all, bro? Y'all, why ain't y'all talking that way? I thought y'all were Tank fans. Why aren't y'all talking that way? I don't understand it. It is what it is.
They're comfortable. They're comfortable coddling him in a safe place. That's what happens.
They more comfortable. Blue. They super comfortable with being with having conversations like, he would beat that dude. He gonna run over that dude. He gonna knock that dude out. Really?
Because he's in a safe place. They're comfortable with him in a safe place. No, you can sit right here, baby. Don't move. You ain't got to go to work.
Yeah.
You can sit right here.
Put some powder on us.
It is what it is.
But
We
let's
wrap
get on
this
out of here.
up.
Salute to
Yeah.
the brother. Dropping that cinco on the super chat. Talk, man. This is why boxers in the state that it's in. Last of a dying breed. Facts. Be a fan of the sport of boxing, man. All this extra modeling and why you gotta do that? What you mean? Because I'm paying for it. What you mean?
I'll never
Hey,
understand.
yoga, we about to get out of here. I gotta get out of here, man. What you mean? Because I'm paying for it. If I go to McDonald's, I want a Big Mac. Don't give me a Whopper.
Man.
And then if I'm complaining, hey, bro, this ain't a Big Mac. Just take it.
You always complaining. Every Big Mac gotta be a Big Mac. You can't come up here every time you want a Big Mac, you gotta be a complete Big Mac. You always complaining.
Work, man. It's nasty work. Quick, and then you've never seen nobody defending Devin Haney. Everything they say about Devin Haney is ill will, talking down on him.
That's a fact.
What y'all think? Just because I don't comment on all these other platforms, don't think I don't see it. I see you on the other platforms cheerleading. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tank can't do no wrong. They over there
talking about 5-hour hate show, hate campaign. Loving every minute of it.
Devin Haney and his father so bad, and I don't see near one of y'all over there talking about, man, don't do that to the brother. Don't be a crab in a barrel.
100%.
Man, it's nasty work, man. But go ahead, Clay. Let's get on out of here, man.
Yeah, let's get on out of here. Salute to you guys, man. Salute Blue. Salute AK Crowder. Salute to round one. Edwin was great having him on the panel today, man. I was one of the best Edwins that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Taking his time, letting everybody else speak, dropping his points, man. Just great job. Shout out to Edwin. You're evolving, man. You one of those dudes in the game right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Charles Edward Cheese. So happy that you back in good health, brother. I don't know what you was battling, but I know it was bad enough to where you wasn't around like that, and now you back at it, bro. Yo, salute to you, man. Prayers answered that you're in a healthy place. Shout out to everybody in the building, all the love. Shout out to Yoga, Jay Lynn, Barbara D. Shout out to you, Queen. Appreciate you for engaging in the content with us. And we back at it tomorrow, man. We back at it.
Yeah, the truth hurts, man. I say this all the time. People like to live in fantasy land, man. It's safer that way. Elephants fly. Zebras are pink. You know what I'm saying?
Girl,
yeah, you can do whatever you want there in fantasy land. That's what society has created.
Yeah, bro.
Today's society has absolutely created that. But
yeah.
it is what it is, man. Let's get on out of
here. You was on fire today, bro. You lost your shit today, bro. You went ham.
Bro, I try to not go down that path because then I get labeled.
Hey, it is what it is. You was talking that ish though. You was going ham, bro. That was fire. That was fire to listen. That was crazy.
I try to stay away from that because then people they go to other platforms and blue is this and blue is that, and I try to just what I'm saying. I don't, what I mean. I don't.
I know, bro. They gonna hate forever, but that's all good.
It's just nasty work, man. But the truth got to be told. See, this is the thing, right, Clay? They selling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is they people want to sell you the truth,
right?
So, and it's too expensive, so most people don't buy it.
Right. I like that. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I like it.
Most people don't buy it.
They want to attack you, tear you down. You can't have an opinion. You can't ask a question. You can't have a concern. You can't have a want. You can't have a picture that's painted where their fighter is challenged.
Right.
The fighter they love is challenged. He's fighting a fight that's not necessarily a 90-10, 80-20. It's a 65-35. It's a 55-45, maybe even a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't like that. You find that to be threatening. I find that to be great boxing. Let's get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I try to keep it together, Clay. But
yeah,
We on them all, man. We'll be
Speaking
same
power,
back
baby.
time, same back channel.
Speaking of power, baby. Let's get it.
That's it. Let's get it. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Click the link that's in the chat. Subscribe to my brother, my co-host Claymore Rain. His link is in the chat. Y'all like this content, make sure y'all hit the like button and support us, man. Support this grind. We putting this work in, man. And we just going to elevate. You know what I'm saying? We just going to elevate. You know, that's all we're going to do. We taking over this boxing space because there ain't enough truth being told. So too many narratives being out there, man.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We human raid. We kicking the door open and turn the lights on, and these roaches is getting ready to scram.
They're upset. Running all over the place. All under your toasters, all under your microwaves, all under your kitchen counters. Raid! Let's get it.
Raid! Appreciate y'all. Jalen, blessings, queen. Much love to each and every one of y'all. And for the queens, I hope it wasn't uncomfortable because, you know, I know, you know, y'all know, I don't like to get into those kinds of conversations with the queens. You know, I stay away from those conversations. I respect the queens. Just Kiki, Jalen, Maya Egypt, Tiana Scott, Barbara D, all the queens. On Callia World, peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all. Y'all know I do nothing but respect you guys. I respect your place on this planet, you know, and it's nothing but love from me. I live by the 3 P's: protect, provide, and produce. You know what I'm saying? And the queens are to be protected, and that's how I live my life. 5 sisters, 4 daughters, and a wife. So I live by that with them, and I never want, you know, any queens to feel uncomfortable or disrespected, because I wouldn't want that to be felt in my lane. You know what I'm saying? So you know, much love to y'all. I appreciate y'all supporting me. Me and my brother Clay, we doing big things, man. So appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only reason we came on late today, because your boy Blue is getting old. I had to go to the eye doctor, get my eyes checked, you know, get some new glasses, all types of things. But we'll be back tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Much love to each and every one of y'all. Salute.